Wow.
Try to relax your anus.
Wow. 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 Wow.
I love it.
Wow.
Try to relax your anus, your shoulders.
Hello, everybody. The last 24 hours has been a complete shit show. I don't know, for some of you who follow me on Twitter. Dude, so let me tell you the full story here. I'll still make it Cliff Notes, but keep in all the important parts. So I'm out food shopping yesterday. And all of a sudden, my baby's mom messages me. Best way I could describe her. And she's like, did you cancel the car insurance? And I know right there that everything is about to instantly go downhill. I'm like, because that means I'm definitely driving uninsured. I'm like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, yeah, the car insurance has been canceled. And not only has it been canceled, it's been canceled since late April. So I was driving around in a new leased car with no insurance on it for over a month. I checked all of my emails multiple times. I checked both of my phones. I'll get to the super chats in a second. No notifications from them. Because I wasn't the main person on there, they had no legal obligation to let me know that they were canceling it. Now, why did they cancel it? My ex has teenage daughters from her first marriage. They got into fender benders. See, that's the thing about insurance, especially in the States. It's a scam. You need it. You're required by law to have insurance. I get it for cars. Okay, I understand why they do it. But if something ever happens, they drop you like a log of shit out of their ass. Which, whatever, you want to drop me, I don't fucking care. You think because the kids on there are a liability. No, it was Geico. So I had to go through all this fucking shit. Then there were places that, because the lapse in insurance was long enough, they wouldn't insure me. It was a disaster. Finally, I got insurance through State Farm. But I still had to go to the DMV, because even if you get insurance, again, if your insurance lapses, you have to pay a penalty, which that was fun. But here's the shit kicker. Now you're thinking, oh, Rich, shit happens. First off, in my opinion, if a insurance company, especially for auto insurance, which you legally need to have insurance to drive, it's not like health insurance. They'll just make you go bankrupt if you ever, God forbid, have to go to the hospital without health insurance. I walked into the place. And I explained to the guy at DMV, they were very nice at DMV, which was a pleasant surprise. Everyone was nice there. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, and I explained my story to him. He's like, you didn't have Geico by any chance, right? I'm like, yeah, I did. How'd you know? He's like, that's a thing that they do. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And all these other people are coming up with stories that the same shit happens. So Geico, if they consider you too... they may send a non-certified letter out saying, sucks for you, we're not going to insure you anymore, but they will not do any extra effort to make sure they reach out to you. No certified letter, no emails, no nothing. No nothing. And God strike me dead if I'm lying about what the guy at the DMV said. He's like, you didn't have Geico by any chance, did you? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that's what they do. Like, fine, you don't want to insure me anymore because there were teenage kids on there. You want me to get just let me know so I'm not driving around a new leased car uninsured. Could you imagine I got into an accident? Could you fucking imagine? I mean, if I got pulled over, that would have, but they could have technically arrested me. But I would have showed them, like, look, I had no idea I didn't have insurance. Geico wasting 15 minutes? Oh, yeah, 15 minutes. I was like, wait a second. I was like, they could have wasted a lot more than that. God forbid I got into an accident. Dude, it was... And then I call them up today, and they were like, oh, we could reinsure you because so long as you're on your own and the kids aren't on there, fine. I'm like, okay. They're like, oh, we have to. What did they say? You have to have you have to be reviewed for a year. In a year, we could reassess if we could insure you again. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna have an uninsured car for a year. I was like, you guys don't have. Shouldn't it be that you have to send out like a certified letter to every single person that's on the insurance so this doesn't happen? No, we just have to send out. So they don't care. And this is a thing that they do. Apparently, that multiple people I've talked to, even on the internet and at the DMV, know that they do this. So, I am a lucky motherfucker, man, because shit happens. Imagine I got into even a fucking fender bender with no insurance. Like, look, you want to? I get it. I get this how the scam works. It's you could be with them for 30 fucking years, never have an accident, and pay your bill on time. You have 2 accidents, they could drop you. It's a legal scam. I get it, but let me know when you're going to stop scamming me, so I could have some other company by law have to scam me. Who is DFS? I may file a complaint. I'm pissed off. I wasn't going to say their names at first, but this is absurd. It was absolutely absurd. And I also have too, because this is for the reason I do it. I call it the rainy day bucket, where I have, even if it's like junk mail, it's not a lot. Like I'll go through it. If it's real junk mail, I'll eventually clean some of it out. But I keep it just in case. Hey, we sent you a letter of something. That's how we let you know. I'm like, the basket of truth that I have over here says that you are full of shit. I'm going to type that down. Department of Financial Services, because I am fucking pissed. I am very, very, very fucking pissed. And you guys know, I try to like, look, oh man, I fucked up. They sent the email and I missed it. That's a derp on me. You know I would say that. I don't care. You guys know I admit when I fuck up all the time. I didn't this time. Andres, I don't know where you're from, because I'm looking. Oh, let me get the other super chats first. They are right. Neil, sorry, dude. And see, look, Andreas is the first super chat that I see. Thank God. Rest in peace, Ray Liotta. Dude, I am so fucking heartbroken about that. And I'm not just saying that because someone passed away and that's Goodfellas. And a role that is slept on. I know he was in Field of Dreams and stuff like that. A role that was slept on was him in Hannibal. Wasn't the greatest Silence of the Lambs movie, but he did a badass job in that, man. And that ending was crazy. I'm almost afraid to read Subaru Addicts. I work in a body shop and deal with insurance companies. Geico is by far the worst. This is all I'm hearing. At first, I was like, Rich, people always like hold you more accountable as an influencer. You shouldn't name a name. But then when I started hearing the stories of the same thing happening to people over the same thing, mine was actually more extreme. I was driving around unknowingly with no insurance on a new car because I had to get a new car because of the lease for over a month. That's insane. That is insane. Let that sink in. Let's go worst case scenario. God forbid I got into some accident where someone I killed somebody and had no insurance. I might be in prison for the rest of my life because Rich, you're not profitable enough. Fuck you, Geico. Fuck you hard. All insurance is a fucking scam. If it did what it was supposed to and they weren't looking for any reason to dump it, same with health insurance. Your doctor could be like, hey, you need this surgery. If the insurance company's this is how it works in the States. This is why even having insurance is still a fucking joke. Your doctor could tell you needed a surgery or some kind of procedure, okay? If their doctor in an ivory tower who has never met you in their life, because their job is to try to deny as many claims as possible to make them more profitable. He could be he or she, whoever the doctor is that works at the insurance company who denies or says, okay, that's a necessary. They could just be like, nah, you don't need it. We're not gonna insure you for it. We're not gonna pay for it. Do you realize how many people in the States, too, not to turn this into politics, but since we're talking about fucking frauds and U.S. politics, those go together hand in hand. You know how many people I know in the States, it's so sad, that either they hate their job with a passion, they can't fucking stand it. Probably part of the reason they need the health insurance is because the job is causing that much stress that they can't leave the job, because if they leave the job, they will not be able to afford health insurance. You don't think that's by design? Oh, we need more lemmings at our job. Make it that they'll drop dead if they leave. America's number one. Before I moved to Progressive, I had Geico. When I called them to try to keep my business, they literally said, okay, bye, good luck to you. A lot of companies do that. I don't want to, downplay what you're telling me, but dude, I am on early. I was like, there's no news today. I mean, I was thinking about just taking the day off, but I'm like, why? Careful with State Farm too. They're decent, but I literally just went through the same thing. I finally dug into my account and saw it hadn't been drafting. Well,
I am thoroughly tickled.
It should be a law. There should be something written into law or drafted into law. I'm not a senator. I don't know the exact terminology. That if a company is good, they have to say they have to either send out a certified letter or someone has to call and confirm they talk to you when they're doing that. That's period. Oh, but what happens if they never respond? Then we'll have to keep it. You got to do. You can't just make it that people are driving around without insurance because we looked at the profit margin on your account due to the liability. It's not. Fuck off. That should be illegal. So wait, that Texas school shooting, one of the teachers died of a heart attack? Jesus Christ. Save 15%, but we'll cancel you when they want. Yeah, pretty much. I'll do this.
I'm not going to put it in a bottle and breastfeed it to you.
I had to think for a millisecond. Brandon Sutton. When Ray Liotta, there was that dude that was bothering his girlfriend that ended up being a wife, and he goes up to him and just pistol whips the shit out of him. God damn, Ray Liotta's gone, man. That is sad. Motherfucker. But just my thing with, look, you want to drop me because, like I said, I don't care. But you should make it that there is a legal way that they have to say that they got in contact with you before they do it, because then shit like this happens. I know they don't care. It doesn't hurt their bottom line. Insurance is a scam. I got into an accident 6 years ago. 10-year accident-free rate went up 110% for... Dude, it is everything about it. And you're legally required to have it. So what do? You are beholden to insurance companies. The only silver lining is that there is 8 billion fucking local and nationwide corporate insurance companies, so they have to be competitive. Yay. Who is more competitive in scamming you, essentially? You know what I mean? I mean, when it comes to fucking ISPs, they don't even have to worry about competition. They don't even have to worry about competition. It's either a duopoly or sometimes a monopoly. Or like in some places you'll have one broadband option which sucks and is overpriced, and then you'll have dial-up. Yeah, okay. Oh, we have a competitor. They're 56 kbps. You could load a single web page in 30 minutes. Who has the cheapest insurance scam rate is what it comes down to. It's just ridiculous, man. Blood Curt, you may get Connor, I will give it to you, but you gotta, here, hold on. I love birds. I love birds. Birds. Wait, it took you only 2 weeks? It shit took me like a month. Hold on, though. Give the birds 60 gallons of cum. Yes. Yes! When he took out the fucking pancake batter. Dude, it looked like they had a bunch of people on set that worked there. It just beat off into a drum and they just had a 60-gallon jar of cum. If I wasn't perverted, I could just say mayonnaise, but whatever. But if the government is the insurance provider, yeah, I get what you're saying, but they should do like, you're with an insurance company for 20 plus years. I wasn't with them for 20 plus years. I was with them for like 5, I think. But my ex was with them for 20 years. Dropped her like a log of shit. And her kids. I mean, think about how much profit they made off of her. And then because, you had to pay out some over a couple years for fender benders, you just drop them. Fuck you. I lived in Sweden. I play Elden Ring. I haven't played any Dark Souls games. Man, I ended up falling asleep. I got 7, 8 hours of sleep, but I was just obviously stressed for reasons. I'm like, yo, am I going to get fucked? I didn't even know, am I going to get arrested? Like, what's the deal? Like, fine, I have to sleep on a cot for a couple days, but, like, what is the next step? I had no fucking clue. I've never driven. I don't even think I've driven a day without insurance. Obviously. But I'm saying, it's like, what the fuck? So, I played Demon Souls last night, Andreas, was my point. And oh, man, parrying and that is satisfying. I'm like, all right, I'm stressed I can't sleep yet. And I played that for like a half an hour. Out of all games to make me tired, it was Dark Souls. Or Demon Souls, excuse me. Man. You know what's funny is that they have the cinematic mode and they have high performance mode. Why the fuck would you play on cinematic, man? I mean, it's 30, but I don't know. 30 to me feels like 15 frames a second now. Oh, the parry animations are god tier. If I'm going to be slightly critical, it's like, say, when you have an axe or something and you parry and you do what is it called when you parry and then you pirouette or something like that, whatever the fuck the name of it is. It's an actual real thing they do in fencing. Riposte. Yes, riposte. When you like go down and like you put them onto the ground and really nail them. Sometimes like I guess the ragdoll physics move the character out of the way and it kind of breaks the illusion because the axe actually isn't in him. But besides that, visually it's huge step up. Not huge. I would say it's a decent step up from Elden Ring. It's beautiful. A lot of scumbag landlords. Trust me, I know. Oh, God, man. Dude, there's so many slumlords, especially. I don't know about other states, and I don't know, maybe there's other states that are worse, but I've met slumlords in New York. You know why a lot of people become, like, slumlords is they think, this happened during the housing bubble of, like, 2007, 2008. They all thought they were going to become millionaires. We'll just buy these shit properties. Just make people pay rent, do bare minimum to keep up the properties, and the prices will just keep going up. So here come the millions. Hey, millionaires, how you doing? None of them became millionaires. Why? Boogie's right, Defiant Che. Boogie's 110% right. A lot of the landlords are pieces of fucking shit. Because a lot of them, all they're doing is, you're paying for them to have a property that they're hoping will go up a bunch in value. Mostly is what you're doing. Obviously, too, they're making profits off of the rents. I'm assuming, hoping. But a lot of times they're doing that to make profit off the rent. and because the property they're thinking is going to blow up one day and they could flip it later. I knew people that were doing it literally, and they were pieces of shit. Sorry, they just were. Yeah, the facial animations in Elden Ring are like, they're very like early Xbox 360. Actually, that's an insult to the Xbox 360 because Half-Life 2 actually has better facial animations than Elden Ring. Did you hear Kevin Spacey got charged in the UK? No, good though. He's a piece of shit. You have a lot of dude. I'm sure there's slumlords everywhere, but I literally knew them. And one of the guys, I remember one of the guys telling me, and he was like he was doing like the carpentry work, which he shouldn't have been doing, not legally, but he just sucked at it. And they were like, "Yeah, man, all these properties are going to keep going up in price, and then I'll sell them off," and he ended up going bankrupt. He's doing it right now with different shit, but like I know what they're talking about, Dames. When you go up to like a character, like say when you first go to Stormville or whatever the fuck it's called, you go into the shack and that woman's there. She's talking about grafted shit. You're fairly close to her, and like they're like she has like a kind of mannequin face. Even like the characters in Demon Souls, the remake, like that you're just talking to in the Nexus, pretty decent facial animations. So, yeah, I always find it amazing that Kevin Spacey tried to cushion the blow of him attempting to sexually assault somebody. He's like, yeah, I kind of did that, yeah, but I am gay. The fuck difference does it make? That's part of it. I always said that. I always said that too. Everyone's like, oh, it's gun regulation. No, it's mental health. How about it's both? Don't worry, I'm not going to hit the applause again, I swear. It's both, literally. There's people who don't have access to healthcare because mental health is healthcare. And it is the access to guns is too easy in certain areas. But the problem is that the United States is the United States. That's the thing that people say about Chicago. Oh, they have the strictest gun laws there, and there's a bunch of violent shootings all the time. Yeah, because people could go to other states, get those guns, and go back to Chicago. You don't think they're going to do that? It's like, really? But no, it is mental health too. But here's the thing: all the Republicans that were saying mental health, they won't do anything with that either. Yeah, it's just exactly just blame video games. It's perfect. Like, think about, well, actually, I blame Kip Kinkle's parents. That was one of the really OG first school mass shootings. That was before Columbine. And his parents were such idiots. They seemed like they loved him. That's not what I'm questioning. But they took him to a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist at the time, because that's when, like, SSRIs were first becoming a thing. The psychiatrist at the time put him on Prozac. It worked for him. He stopped hearing voices in his head. He was sleeping better. And the parents go, okay, they're like, oh, he's cured now. So they stopped making him go to a psychiatrist and took him off the Prozac. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball in hindsight with that is not 2020, but that school shooting may have not happened if he stayed on the medication and kept going to therapy. I don't understand why there's this stigma with mental health. It's so fucking weird. You are getting Grandpa. Do I have Grandpa excited here anymore? I think I got rid of that, man. So I'll have to give you this.
Wash your balls. Wash your balls.
This country got a lot of problems. I think that, I guess this is where I become how about it could be both mental health and there could be changes to gun laws? Maybe both. Why does it have to be one or the other? It's not even free, though. You pay some more in taxes. It's not even free healthcare. I always, that's how I know when people, look, I'm not making it like I'm politically savvy, but when I talk to people about Medicare for all in real life, oh, you want free health? I'm like, it ain't free healthcare, you fucking fool. You pay for more of it in taxes. It's still cheaper than private insurance, but you're an asshole. Moon's video. I got videos ready to go here. I'm just shooting the shit first. Yeah, mental illness is... Dude, there's people who suffer from mental illness has always been... Like, look at... You want proof? Dude, we should watch that. I had the shit from Vic Berger up again. And it is Ted Cruz. Oh, man. But there was a documentary done. Actually, he did a documentary on Jared Fogle and Kip Kinkle. A very interesting channel. I just discovered it. And he was talking about the woman who tried to do a mass shooting at the YouTube campus. It's pretty nuts. You like that. She was obviously not mentally well. There's a perfect example. Mentally, we'll watch that. Rich, mental illness is not real. I show you Exhibit A. Yeah, Zeb, of course. No, yeah. It's the same with movies. It's like, yeah, that's an obvious one. Like, yeah, people who have violent tendencies or were born with them or just that's naturally how they are. Yeah, they will probably want to play Mortal Kombat as well. So Moon's full of YouTube. So I got to get that. Yeah, you want to see how crazy this woman who tried to shoot up the YouTube campus. It's funny, but sad at the same time. It's like really funny. You're probably going to burst out laughing kind of funny. But Sierra Padre Pollo recently got insured here in London and had been enjoying my parents' Ford Fiesta. Ciao. Ciao. What the fuck did I say to you? Hello. You wish me and the Burr success. Thank you. And Ford Fiestas are actually peppy little cars. Oh, God, that's a boomer word. I am getting old. I just said peppy. Is there a lot of pep in your step, sir? Ha, 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 ha. Breasts. Why would you might know the answer? Yeah, we could watch them. Maybe not today, or maybe not this, because I'm probably going to stream twice. And I'm not wearing the chicken suit right now. It's too fucking hot. That's another thing. This summer is going to suck my fucking wallets dry, man. I got to get like the slimline Mitsubishi air. This is too fucking loud, and I need air conditioning on while I'm recording because this room goes from like 65 to 3,000 degrees in 20 seconds. There's going to be everyone. I have opinions, Jessica. Everyone has opinions. You know what I mean? You start. I might know the. So yes, we could watch Nostalgia Critic. That dude. I was on their website for a while. It'd be interesting to go back and look at some of his stuff. I know he's still doing his thing, but yeah. Well, I have 1, 2, 3 massive desktops in here too. Got 4 monitors, lights. So this room like starts roasting in minutes, you know? So I got to get like I'll probably just start in here and then build it around the house so I can add more units because I do have central air here. But it's an older system. It works fine. But I know it's eventually going to take a shit. But I can't. It doesn't cool off this room enough. Your computer room is a sunroom. That is not a good mixture. All right, so let me see if I can find that. Wow, there's actually 500 people here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You're all fucking crazy. So am I, too. But I was just like, I was like, man, I'll just take off today. You know, there's no news. I got the huge Game Boy video going up Saturday. I could stream tomorrow. But I was like, nah, I'm bored. What am I going to, like, you know what I mean? Where is it? YouTube's. Where? I know it. Here it is. All right, let me pause this. So we are about to go down. I can only imagine what our founding fathers would think about how corporations are considered human beings with religious rights. It's insane. And how they allow politicians to take bribes from said corporations. Oh, it's lobbying. I'm sorry. They can't directly profit from the money. But they still do anyway. If you want a window AC unit, get the Media. It's ultra quiet because it's a U-shaped. What I gotta get? I'm gonna put this one in my notepad too. Then I'm gonna, because maybe I'll do that. But the problem is I have to keep the shade closed because of lighting. But I'll look at it though. What the hell? Maybe I could figure out another way to darken that window. My day is doing... You know what? It was doing good until I heard that Ray Liotta passed. I'm dead serious. That was an awful wording. I didn't mean that to be funny at all, but I'm serious. I was like, man, everything's figured out with the car. It wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be. Still fucking expensive. I could drive now without, risk going to prison. And then I heard that. I'm like, I saw someone that I follow them, so I know they wouldn't post that for the sake of posting it. Hank Hill, thank you for the super chat. But I'm like, let me just confirm. I'm like, oh, god damn it. Really? Even Bob Saget, I grew up with Full House and America's Funniest Home Videos, man. And the thing was, with Bob Saget, it wasn't even a health issue. He hit his head, thought there was nothing wrong, and it ended up his brain was bleeding, I believe. How tragic is that? The man's life was absolutely... I don't know what happened. Ray Liotta passed in his sleep. And so did Bob Saget, but the reason was because he had head trauma. We don't know what happened with Ray Liotta yet. It sucks.
Everyone has had a bad day once in their lives. A day where it felt like the world was truly conspiring against you. A day where absolutely everything seemed...
Like, everything about this woman was insane. I feel bad because her parents genuinely loved her. She was like 38, living at home. And you could just tell that the videos are funny. Like, especially if they were... Like, they're almost like Tim and Eric skits. Like, you watch them and it's like, what am I watching? Like, if this was a skit on, like, Dr. Steve Bruley, you'd be like, yep, this is brilliant. But it's not. She's real. We'll see the OG Top Gun tonight before the sequel. Yeah, the old Top Gun movies are great. It is. It's a sad story. But if it didn't have the tragic ending, her videos are fucking insanely funny. She didn't mean them to be, I don't think. Actually, I could tell by her personality from when she was not in character that she didn't. But, I mean, I know she wasn't diagnosed with any mental health issues, but she had mental health issues. You will see right now. This woman, now she actually, luckily she ended her own life, but luckily no one on the YouTube campus was killed. There were some people that got hurt. They were critical, but they fully recovered. So yeah, this is, oh shit, they have the popularity bar, the most replayed. Do you realize that YouTube got that from porn? I'm not even being funny. When you watch, yes, I watch porn.
Try to relax your anus.
But in porn, I'm not even being funny, right? Well, there I was. But you'll see, like, this is where most people watch. Oh, look, titties. Wow. Those aren't hers, by the way. That's a costume. The cops go up to the window. Yeah, this is the same thing. But gee, look, there's breasts here. Everyone's going there to watch. Literally, it's not even a joke. Look where the most replayed. They do that with porn. Oh, I just want to see the guy blow a load on her breasts. So, oh, there it is. That you had probably like some 25-year-old engineer at YouTube and be like, I got it. I watch porn all the time. Let's just put a popularity bar above so people just get to the money shot on YouTube right away. So it's like porn without the porn. It actually is brilliant. So you know what that's going to hurt though. Look, and that's fine. I know people skip the baked in ads in my videos, but you know what's going to happen. You're going to see the bar peak right after everyone's baked in ads. Be interesting to see what happens with the baked in ads after this.
To go wrong, and even a simple
Just keeping it real.
task such as getting a tank of gas on your way home from work seems stressful.
Yeah, that was my day yesterday. I felt fucked yesterday.
Sometimes that bad day turns into a bad week, and sometimes, not very often, it becomes a bad month or even a year. No matter how bad,
because I'm just keeping it real as a person who I genuinely love the sponsors that I work with. What do you think? It's just on everyone's videos, not just mine, just in general. What are people skipping that part, skipping that part? So YouTube's algorithm that calculates that popularity bar is going to have the bar peak after the baked in ad. It's just facts.
things get.
This is Nasim Agdam, excuse me. She was a YouTube personality, never a large YouTube personality, but she had like a following of like 20,000 people or something like that, who thought that YouTube was conspiring against her to cut down her ad revenue. So went to the campus and was going to shoot people. She did actually shoot people. Luckily, they all survived and fully recovered, but she ended up taking her own life.
No matter how much stress we are under or how many things in our lives fall apart, we understand that that is just life, that there isn't someone actually conspiring against us to make our lives harder, to slowly but surely chip away at our success or our psyche to make us.
I mean, it wasn't directly against her, but it is true that YouTube changed what they monetized. That definitely affected her. It wasn't directly against her like she went cuckoo and thought, but she wasn't completely wrong, you know?
Lose it all. And sometimes things just go as planned.
Did Abby write something in not caps?
Try to relax your anus.
Wow.
I'm shocked, Abby.
Welcome back to another episode of Dreading. Today we are going to tackle a story about a woman who, like mentioned,
she kind of did have a mullet. It's very, like, she could have been a decent looking, like, there's some like pictures here where she's like good looking. The other one's like, she just looks crazed.
Was going through a rough patch. A woman who had built herself a career online.
Bobby got hacked by Quantum. That explains everything. Yo, shout out to Dr. Trey. He sent a picture because I was bitching about Geico last night when I finally lost it, when my patience was gone. And he took the Geico logo where like the lizard sitting on top of the logo, and then he put a picture, he placed it perfectly of Quantum TV. It was like absolutely perfect.
Who was passionate about her activism and who felt like everything she had worked for was slowly, methodically, and incrementally.
You know what's really crazy is that if she didn't go down this route because her content was so legendarily bad, I think it's the right way to say that word, she probably would have been very successful. That's probably an even a bigger tragedy with this. If she didn't take her life and did what she did, she probably would have been like, she's so awful, she's good. Because just wait. It's insane.
Being taken away from her. All written and directed by the powers that be. A woman who had convinced herself that the only way to stand up against the people who were actively trying to suppress her voice was to kill as many of them as possible. Today we are going to be talking about Nasim Agdam, the woman behind the 2018 shooting at YouTube headquarters. Before we begin...
Yeah, I get it, Lyoko. I'm just saying, you know. But what you also have to realize, too, is that the ad blockers are part of the reason that the ads have to be in the videos, too. And look, man, people just want to make extra money, too. But the thing is, my always rebuttal to that is, as a person, I skip ads in people's videos. It's not like I'm breaking a sweat and had to climb up a mountain to skip the fucking ad. You scrub the bar, whether it be on your phone or on a PC, and you just find where after the ad is done. You know, problem solved. It's kind of like a non-issue, but you know, people don't like it. It is what it is.
If you like this content, please like this video and hit the subscribe button. Also, feel free to share this video as YouTube actively suppresses true crime content.
Yes, they do. Sniper Elite 5 is plays decent on the Steam Deck too. Almost dropped my Steam Deck off of my table today. It didn't though. It kind of like slid on the table, but didn't even get scuffed, thank God.
With that in mind,
but that plays pretty good on there. Even at high settings, you could stay well above 30. Put on, if you want to keep it, you could change the Fidelity FX 1.0 though kind of is too muddy for me, even at the best settings, so I'd rather just play it at the native resolution, but it'll definitely play good on there.
let us begin.
Yeah, I'm hearing, Dag, that the Steam Decks are pretty durable, which I take care of my stuff. I baby it to the point of where I'm a little obsessive, but for some reason, like, stuff disintegrates in my hands. Like I can look at my Steam Deck the wrong way right now, or the Aya Neo that's there, and they may just explode because I'm looking at them.
Nasim Ogdam was born April 1979 in Urmia, Iran.
Yeah, she's just a little older than me. It's sad, man.
Nasim grew up in a loving home with her parents, and while not a lot of reporting has been done on her early life, she herself stated she was deeply cared for by her parents. Her family belonged to the Baha'i faith, which is a relatively new faith that was established in the 19th century in Iran and parts of the Middle East. The religion itself stresses unity.
She has a very long neck. I think that's the only thing to me that's, well, minus when she looks like she's insane and should be in a mental institution. That's like the only thing off-putting.
Unity amongst people and the planet, outright rejecting racism and nationalism in order to work towards a unified.
You were 12, man, so you're making me look like a child. A large, hairy, 40-year-old gray-beard child, white-beard.
World order that ensures prosperity between all nations, races, creeds, and classes. The religion also believes that all faiths.
Sounds like a pretty good religion so far.
Faiths are created equal, as it is believed that all major religions were created to serve the same purpose, that being to honor God and unite people. Members of the faith are prohibited.
That sounds like so far so good. I'm not a religious person, but it sounds good so far.
Prohibited from drinking or selling alcohol, premarital or extramarital sex. And
okay, that sucks.
I'm not going to put it in a bottle and breastfeed it to you.
Wow.
participating in partisan politics, as it is seen as aggressive and divisive.
I like everything minus that middle part. I could even live without the fucking alcohol. Shit, I could live without weed. Like whenever I stream, I take it, and because I stream late at night, it's also tied into helping me get sleepy. But if I had to never do weed, if I had to never touch a lozenge again tomorrow, that's fine. But living without getting laid, no.
Try to relax your anus.
This faith specifically stresses unity between people above all else, and that was something that Nasim took to heart. Because of her faith,
she looks like she's posing for like an Elden Ring. God, I am still obsessed with Elden Ring. But like when you're doing character creation in the beginning, that looks like a character someone made in Elden Ring.
At the age of 7, Nasim decided she would forego.
Wait, he kind of shows a full like music video from her. Insanity. You would think Vic Berger edited it, but no, that's her really making a video.
The consumption of any animal products, as she viewed animals virtually the same as people. She felt as if these beliefs of unity amongst men and women should be extended to animals as well, and that any use of animal products was unethical. Not every member of her family had the same feelings as Nasim, and other members can. Which
that's fine. You know, like intro guy is against, because Look, man, you ever watch how animals are butchered to make your fucking chicken burgers or regular burgers? You would think twice about it. I'm just saying. So I respect that. That's why I have all... The only time I get annoyed is when people are like, I am a vegan. Here's my vegan cock all over your face. Keep your vegan cock to yourself, please. But no, man, if you have beliefs like that, and you know, I respect it.
Continued to eat meat. However, Nassim was steadfast and outwardly criticized any person she came upon who continued to consume animal products.
Okay, so she was smearing her metaphorical cock all over everyone's face. Gotcha. Mwah. Beautiful. You probably weren't annoying at all.
Despite the fact that the Baha'i faith stresses togetherness and unity, in Iran, it is heavily persecuted, specifically because it is viewed as apostasy from Islam. Over 200 people in Iran were
No, she's not trans. She...
executed for believing in this faith, making the Ogdam's family's continued beliefs and practice incredibly dangerous. Because of the danger that came along with practicing the faith in Iran, the Ogdam family began to consider moving.
Sushi is too fucking good. It's too bad it has mercury in it too, so you can't have it often.
Nassim's father, Ishmael, began to apply and seek job opportunities overseas, and finally,
What is going...
in 1996, when Nassim was 16,
Is she performing oral sex on a cherry?
years old, he found one in San Diego, California. With the promise of a new job, as well as the knowledge that they could be free from religious persecution, the family set out to start their lives in the United States. While the majority of the family acclimated to their new surrounding, Nassim did not. In fact, it appeared to those who knew her that she...
But this is what I'm saying, though. As you watch this, it's almost like, yeah, this is terrible, but it's kind of like a good terrible. If it didn't end tragically, like... I could picture her having a couple million subs now, getting half. It's almost like, in a weird way, like Nikocado Avocado. His content's terrible, but I got to sign up for the OnlyFans. I still forgot to do that, Bird.
Wow.
It's like, it's so bad it's good. It's like Vic Berger edited it, like I said before, but it's real, and that's what makes it fun. If she didn't try to kill people and kill herself, sadly.
She outright rejected the move, choosing to identify as Persian online, and continued to speak primarily in her native language, Farsi. Her parents...
Is that her real hair, or is that a wig? At first, I'm like, it's definitely a wig. I didn't even think about it, but it's the same. It's like every...
encouraged her to try and connect with her peers, and to give the culture more of a try.
Did she borrow that from the dude from Samurai Cop?
But Nassim was steadfast, choosing to isolate herself from her classmates, never having more than a couple...
Yo, that's so fun. I want to watch that again on stream. That was... Yo, that was so much fun.
couple of friends at a time. But what Nassim lacked in personal connections, she more than made up for
She kind of looks like Michael Jackson. I could see that.
online. Nassim was incredibly active online from the very beginning on the internet. Her mother stated Nassim became obsessed with the internet in a near fanatical way, choosing the internet over real life the majority of the time. There was only one thing that Nassim would choose over the internet, though, and that was animal rights activism. Over the years, Nassim would only grow more and more fanatical about her veganism and her beliefs that animals should have the same rights as people. She joined the People for Ethical Treatments of Animals, also known as PETA, and began attending the protests. In July of 2009, an article about the Marines' use of pigs in their training was published in various papers at Camp Pendleton in San Diego. This article detailed how the Marines would put pigs under anesthesia, purposely stab and cut them in order to teach their recruits how to treat battlefield wounds and profuse bleeding. The training was also to prepare them for the gore they would likely see on the battlefield in order to lessen the trauma and shock.
Jesus. Wow.
The article also dictated that after the pigs had been previously wounded and treated, they would immediately be euthanized. After this article was published, PETA organized a protest on August 12th stating that this
Oh, I'm sure the bacon was amazing. That's as fresh as you can get. I don't know if I could handle watching a pig being gutted, though. I actually know I couldn't. But I respect it though.
Training was unethical and inhumane. Nassim herself attended this protest, wearing a shirt that she bedazzled to say Planet Hell, pants that she had drawn blood droplets on, and carrying a sword, which she brandished at the military base. The San Diego Union Tribune wrote about this protest and interviewed Nassim as part of their coverage, where she was quoted as saying, "For me, animal rights equal human rights."
We're going straight to sex, hop on floor stinking hard like poop pee. What the fuck? What? Hold on. We got to go back for like 30 seconds.
In order to lessen the trauma and shock. The article also dictated that after the pigs had been previously wounded and treated, they would immediately
No manners in the club, no alcohol-free drinks in the club.
be euthanized. After this article was published, PETA organized a protest on August 12th stating that this training was unethical and inhumane. Nassim herself attended this protest, wearing a shirt that she bedazzled to say Planet Hell, pants that she had drawn blood droplets on, and carrying a sword, which she brandished at the military base. The San Diego Union Tribune.
I mean, I get her stance. That's pretty brutal. But the irony is, in the end, is that you're taking away my ad revenue, so I'm going to come kill you, even though you're not directly. But it's time for you to catch a bullet. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. You're against that, but you'll go kill some random, probably mid or low level YouTube employees that had nothing to do with you losing monetization, or at least your monetization diminishing. You know what I mean? I'm sure there is. I don't know anything. I don't know that directly, Max Metal, but I'm sure there is.
Wrote about this protest and interviewed Nassim as part of their coverage, where she was quoted as saying, "For me, animal rights equal human rights." This was far from the only protest that Nassim would attend with PETA. In fact, she
let's see where the popularity bar is. Oh wow, no, it is
became
not
an integral part.
That's not. Those aren't her real titties, by the way. That's whatever the hell she's wearing.
Of the San Diego animal rights scene. However, as the years went on, she slowly stopped
stinking hard like poop pee.
attending. Not because her beliefs had waned. If anything, they grew stronger. But she realized that she could do more for her cause if she focused her attention online. In 2010, about a year after her appearance with a sword at the PETA protest, Nassim joined YouTube under the name Vegan Nassim. Nassim used this YouTube channel to promote her vegan lifestyle, showcase simple vegan recipes, as well as showcase her workout routine, labeling herself as a vegan bodybuilder. These were only a few of her passions, as she would also showcase her sewing abilities, wig styling, comedy, hand art, and more. Nassim didn't stop there though. Because she was trilingual and able to speak English, Turkish, and Farsi, she created 3 separate YouTube pages to share her comedy and her beliefs. She also created a YouTube
Yeah, it's so obvious from that angle that's all fake tittage. But
hand art channel, a daily motion account, her own
I think she was trying to look like Taylor Swift. She failed.
Facebook fan page, and 2 websites. Nassim's
Wait till you hear the music video. Even for parody, it's like she was trying to parody. I think it doesn't even make sense. Just watch.
And NassimABC.com. While the majority of her content has been taken offline, her Telegram page is still active and showcases some of her work, which is off-putting to say the least, with her posting graphic videos of animal abuse and torture in order to further persuade her followers and advocate on behalf of animals. These videos were filled with gore and animal mutilation, but Nassim believed they needed to be shown. In an effort to get more attention on her videos, Nassim also made vegan video parodies of popular songs, like Taylor Swift's Blank Space.
Here we go.
This is that parody.
Nice to meet you, can I kiss you? I could show you hidden things. Pain, sadness, hate, crime, sour food. Oh my brain, look at that meat. It looks like your next heart attack. Life's a game, wanna play. New job, wife.
That's what I'm gonna do to you.
cell phone. This is all you want, ain't it funny?
Gee, I have no idea why no one watched her content, like, non-ironically.
I know you hate me, but hey, let's be friends. I can make meat eaters angry in a second. They will tell you I'm insane, cause you know I hate the meat and you hate to change.
I just, and then the internet tops something every single day. Like, you see this you're like, this is peak crazy. Nope. It's just sad, man, because you know, I mean, you laugh at this because how can you not? But you know how it ended is just tragic. But still, it's like when you watch Chris Chan singing about a boyfriend free. Like, how could you not fucking laugh at that?
Flower ice cream, heart cookie necklace. I could show you hidden things, stolen lives, pretty pigs, eaten heads. You're the car baby on your road.
The fuck is even going on? Yo, I wish I could understand her thought process while she was sitting down making these. Oh, I don't agree with that either, Susha. It's fucking annoying. You believe what you believe. Like, I'll eat what I want to eat. You eat what you want to eat. You believe what you want to believe. I'll believe what I want to believe. Stay the fuck away from me.
Find out where you are. Takes 1 month to find yourself. Oh no, the worst is yet to come.
Like when the cops come up to her when she was unfortunately driving to go shoot people at YouTube. Like, do you have any? Does she have any kind of mental illness? They just show them this video, of course. She's sticking a fucking drill into a donut right now. Yeah, she's nuts. I don't know why I did that, but I just breathed on breasts. I can't believe it. She has mental health issues. And I'm fine. You just made a cricket burger. Well, after my experience with eating bugs, I don't like it. Just maybe I need to try them again in a different form. But what is my editor sending me? Nudes? Ah, he's filming. He actually just sent me a picture of his asshole. I'm very grateful. Yeah, she just looks weird. She's not a bad-looking woman, but you could unfortunately even, like, if I just saw this one still image, not knowing anything else about her, and she was alive, I'd be like, she's pretty decent looking, but you can tell she's fucking crazy.
What's this, rat trap? Men screaming, pretending to be lions, chasing hens, killing cows, poaching elephants. There are nightmares everywhere.
Just look at that still image. Look at that still image. That is an image of insanity. What is going on? Why is she standing in front of a tank dancing, and the tank looks like it was rendered on a fucking Amiga from 1992? What is going on?
Don't know when this madness gonna be over. They only want meat. And
Look at this image. Look at this image. How did she not do drugs?
milk.
What did you put on your burger, Albatross? The cricket burger.
Skip, even if it's torture, murder. Don't say I didn't say I.
This is a thing that is happening. There is a chicken head, a masked chicken head, and a person in a cow outfit staring at the chicken head and doing gestures over it on a highly reflective wooden table. Write an essay on it so I can understand what the fuck is going on. Birds are strange.
Didn't warn ya. They will tell you I'm insane, cause you know I hate them.
And what makes it even funnier is that she wasn't really, she just thought this was a really catchy, genuinely thought it was a catchy parody that would have brought people in. And then they would have came to this and they probably would have had to see a psychiatrist afterwards. French fried onions and A1 with pepper jack. Ah, there you go. Still don't know about the crickets, but God bless.
You better not pay to change.
Nassim's content, while off-putting, was ultimately successful. Her Farsi YouTube channel grew to be over 11,000
Get 'em, dames. Have you ever tried the BioShock games?
subscribers, and she had been welcomed into the YouTube Partner Program, which allowed her to place ads on her videos and earn a healthy living. Still, though, she lived at home. All of her YouTube channels gave her a combined 20,000 subscribers.
There's your burp.
And she had over 50,000 followers on Instagram as well. But Nassim's success wasn't only online.
Took a while.
As some of her videos on her Turkish YouTube channel were featured on various
No, that is factually not true. Even like the Chris Chan stans don't understand the full lore of Sonichu. Chris Chan themselves doesn't understand the fucking lore of Sonichu. So, lies.
Turkish television shows, drawing her an even bigger audience. And according to her now defunct website, she also promotes
What is going on right there?
Spread your cheeks and just go to town.
Your shoulders.
promoted her own channel through various ad spots. Nassim began to describe herself as the most famous Persian animal rights activist online, and she would probably be right. She had garnered quite the audience, and she would have been making a fair amount of money on YouTube. Her content, though at times gory, off-putting, and weird, like
breast massage techniques. What is going on? I need to watch this.
this video of her showing how to give a proper breast massage of what appears to be bra inserts, was doing exceptionally well.
Gee, I have no idea why. Gee, I wonder why a titty massaging tutorial did well. I have to figure out that recipe.
However, that would not last.
Well,
Prior to 2016,
now she could no longer make money on titties.
YouTube was likened to the Wild West. The site had very little moderation, with channels making a living off of edgy comedy.
That's not completely true. It definitely had a decent amount of moderation in 2015. I mean, yeah, they didn't have the same terms of service now because a Leafy wouldn't be on there back then, but it wasn't as Wild West as people make it seem. We are watching, this is Nasim Agdam. She is the woman who went and tried to shoot up the YouTube campus. This is the type of content we fucking need, Griffin. I was in your stream last night. I was in a really pissed off mood because my insurance company decided to, I was on a family plan with people. They decided to drop us without giving us a notification. Yes, I checked all of my inboxes in every physical and digital. So I was in your stream playing while I was playing Demon Souls, and you were talking about how you don't want like tattoos on titties. You don't like tattoos. I get that. It depends on the tattoo with me on a woman. Depends on where it is. You know?
Reaction videos that broke copyright law, and videos that showcased graphic content. At the time, it wasn't hard to find inappropriate sexual videos on the site as well, or find someone like Nasim, who
I don't know if I agree with that. This guy's making it like people were fucking uploading porn back then. They weren't.
would often showcase graphic videos of animal torture. That all changed in 2016, with what is commonly referred to as the adpocalypse. The adpocalypse came in multiple stages, and many believe we are currently in the middle of the fifth adpocalypse.
Yes, your saying is right. You know, I'm mostly on board with that, but sometimes I just, if a tattoo works well, and every woman's different. Like some women can have. I prefer women with longer hair. Well, I don't know why I stuttered saying that. I prefer women with longer hair, but there's some women that short hair really works. That's how I am with tattoos. You know,
right now. The first adpocalypse began August 2016, when YouTube announced that they would be shifting their focus towards more family-friendly content. Content that covered controversial issues began to see a decrease in their views, and videos that included
this is true. Like, they shut down Leafy.
Certain search terms were shadow banned from the site, meaning that users wouldn't be able to find the videos organically unless they had a link. Shortly after this change, an article...
Yeah, it's like generally I like women with longer hair, but there's some women it's like, wow, the short hair, like you couldn't even picture them with longer hair. So it depends.
Was published accusing the most subscribed YouTuber at the time, PewDiePie, of hate speech. The article caused widespread backlash against YouTube, with people calling for him to be deplatformed. In response, multiple companies like Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, and even the entire UK government stated that they would be pulling their ads from YouTube, which caused
that was... It was kind of weird. Like, yeah, PewDiePie, like, kind of made the snowball get bigger, but what it really started with, there was some random, like, fucking neo-Nazi YouTube channel that had, like, I don't know, it was a small, like, 5 fucking subs, but it had ads on it, because that's when, hey, YouTube was like, hey, you have a pulse? You want to upload a video? You can make money. What an awful idea that was. So, like, a Coke ad and, like, major ads ran on this neo-Nazi video from some obscure channel with a small following, and, like, all the advertisers freaked out. And then whatever with PewDiePie, remember I think it was not the Washington, maybe it was the Washington Post or Wall Street Journal, did that stupid fucking video where they took PewDiePie out of context because he had, like, he was dressed in, like, Nazi garb, but he was saying, like, there was the Nazi, like, there was Nazis on YouTube taking down content or something like that. He wasn't putting up Nazi propaganda, obviously, but the Wall Street Journal, then after that happened with that KKK video that had ads on it, when they took PewDiePie out of context and said, there's ads on this pro-Nazi propaganda from popular YouTuber PewDiePie, and that's when the shitstorm, like, went out of control. So technically it started with that really obscure video first, and everyone was freaking the fuck out.
Creators to see a huge decline in their revenue. Following their departure from the site, Logan Paul uploaded a vlog in which he visited Japan, disrespected the Japanese culture.
Yeah, this didn't help either. This did not help either. But how even at like 22, I would have not thought that was a good idea. Oh, wow, there's a corpse. Let's just blur it out a little bit and put it on YouTube. It's like he just may as well just filmed himself fucking butt naked jerking off, but he blurred out his cock.
Culture, and in a disgusting display of depravity, showed the body of a dead man that he had stumbled upon in the Aokigahara forest. Once again, multiple advertisers pulled out and stopped paying YouTube to advertise for them, fearing that YouTube would place their ads on videos that they deemed more controversial. YouTube's response,
which was stupid. It's an automated fucking thing, but of course everyone had to be like, we are totally blah blah blah. Like, yeah, we know you're against it. Some neo-Nazi asshole uploaded something, and it just, the algorithm plopped an ad on there. It's not that people, no one's stupid. Well, actually, there is some pretty stupid people in America, but most people don't think that Coca-Cola is pro KKK. It's just an algorithm. A bunch of not just multiple, a bunch of advertisers pulled out.
response to these scandals was swift, and unfortunately came at the expense of the YouTube creators. Prior to the adpocalypse, and YouTube moving towards favoring family-friendly content, creators were purported to have earned $10 to $20 per 1,000 views, meaning that a video that reached 10,000 views could earn up to $200. Smaller channels were able to earn a good income.
I don't think it was even ever that high. Dude, if it was that high, I'd have like 5 houses in the Hamptons. No, I think that I got to check that number. I mean, it was higher. It was. But not by that degree. Not by that degree.
Off of fewer views, and many chose to quit their jobs because of this. However, after the apocalypse, channels that had been earning $10 per 1,000 views were now earning $1, and they were seeing their views and subscribers decrease, with their videos.
I think the latter was more the reason. I don't think if YouTube's ad revenue was that high, man, I'd be able to like buy a new Ferrari every day, like a pair of fucking sneakers. And I wasn't even that. That's a lot of money.
Being shadow.
It was higher, but not by that much.
Banned and deemed inappropriate in the algorithm. Other channels were noting that their entire back catalog of videos were being labeled as inappropriate and demonetized, meaning that they could no longer.
That part they're on point with. Now, YouTube was like but not as much of a Wild West as he is saying it. And again, I mean, I got to look up numbers. Maybe he is right, and I just, for whatever reason, didn't financially feel it. But I don't think the difference or delta in ad revenue before and after was not that big. There was a time in 2017 where there was one month where it was brutal. That was the month where the adpocalypse peaked and all the advertisers pulled out. But even then, it kind of normalized. And I wasn't just doing political content, so I kind of veered my content away from the politics. Remember I told that story before? Yes, it is true. So I was all right. But no, this guy's, I don't know, I got to check it. I mean, maybe he's right, but I highly doubt it.
Make any money on them. Creators who had hundreds of thousands.
The only other thing I could think of, I know I keep stopping the video, I'm sorry, is that maybe it's the genre that you're in. Maybe the genre I was in, which is technical tech and gaming, didn't get hit as hard. I don't know. It could be that. They aren't, dude. There's still a bunch of old men in their 60s and 70s running shit, Griffin. That's the problem. Oh my God! They think that we're Ku Klux Klan members. Run! No, it's an algorithm. If they know it. Most people who have a basic cognitive ability realize that, but I guess there's a lot of stupid fucks out there too. So
thousands of subscribers and earned upwards of 1 million views a month had the amount of money they were earning halved and had to scramble to stay advertiser friendly. Commentary channels like Leafy is Here, PewDiePie, and more made videos commenting on how swift and unforgiving the change was. Other creators,
I remember the channels that did really get hit were the straight up political channels. Like I remember, what was it, David Pakman and Kyle Kalinske, name any, it doesn't matter, left, right, they all got, like, I think some of them some 80 to 90% decrease in revenue. I never got anything like that. I know political channels got fucked. Just like when Kappa hit, dude, there's a lot of like those like smaller and mid-tier kid YouTube channels, kid-friendly YouTube channels. They were just like, all right, I'm done. Got to go find a job. I was like, man, that's sad. All these people who are probably having growing careers. That's why you don't stick as much as even like YouTube experts will say to stick to one genre of content. If I stuck to a genre of content, just one, I would have been my ass would have been out of here a long time ago. But that was sad too. There were a lot of those smaller and mid-tier kid YouTube channels that as soon as Kappa hit, it's like it's over. I went from making a living to like 5 cents being paid to me. You know? So yeah, I mean, I get why they're all right. The people, the YouTube experts, like the people who try to help you grow your channels, they are right. Sticking to a certain piece of content is good, but don't be too one-dimensional, because if YouTube changes something, which they fucking do all the time, that's it. It's lights out. We're all most of the Call of Duty YouTubers. They either are done or they turned it to only use me blade. Is that the fucking fate you want? Die a little bit.
Chose to leave the platform.
I'll shut up now, I
citing
swear.
that YouTube refused to help its users utilize the platform. And other creators, like Nerd City, ended up making videos in which they explained how YouTube's...
I would say that only use me blade is in a little bit of... maybe he's doing better now. I know he is. Isn't he married or something now? But he had like his toes rotting off before. I would say, and he was drinking himself to death. I would say he was in a bit worse shape than Wings.
back end actually worked. With channels with millions of subscribers...
Only Use Me Blade fingered his ass on stream once. This is totally appropriate, and yes, I'm spamming the who is the woman next to Howie Mandel. Sweet Jesus. Anyway.
Try to relax your anus.
Not Heidi Klum, the other one. Who is that?
discussing how hard the shift had affected them, it was no...
That's Scary Spice? No, that is... Whoa. That is fucking scary. What is she wearing? What is with that wig? That has to be a wig. Or no, if it is not, then that is the most amazing hairstyle that no one should ever fucking have. That's Mel B. Damn, Mel B looks good. Damn. Anyway. Review Thirsty USA.
No surprise that smaller channels, like Nassim's, were also affected, albeit to a much greater degree.
You know why Howie Mandel is like super bald, right? Besides losing his hair, he has some kind of psychological thing where he's scared of any germs. He actually lives in a house behind his wife and his kids because he's afraid of germs. I wonder, does he like have does he have sex in like a FEMA outfit or a CDC outfit when they go to like an outbreak?
Nassim had gotten used to earning a significant amount of money from her videos. Though she lived at home and didn't seem to have any bills to speak of, she greatly enjoyed...
Yeah, what's going on with... I thought Team Fortress was alive and well in terms of them supporting it.
Enjoyed the amount of money she earned online and the fame that came with it. So when YouTube labeled her videos as inappropriate and demonetized a hefty amount of her videos, she took that as a personal offense. The videos that we have showcased so far from Nassim have been her more palatable content. However, she was constantly posting videos that featured graphic, violent animal abuse. She would place the...
I know I'm spamming, and I always say I know I'm spamming, but please fucking explain that image. Just take a still, do a screen cap, and just send that to your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Send it to your parents and just say, ask them seriously, what is going on here? And see what they say to you. They may stop talking to you, And preemptively, I apologize. All right, I'm done with the applause for at least 5 seconds. But again, that's the thing that's so tragic about this. I wish she didn't take her life, because I guarantee you she would have at least had a spike of fame. Probably that would have been so huge that she probably would have never had to work another day in her life. Because it's so ridiculous that it eventually would have caught on. I could pretty much guarantee that. I would have watched it.
The words murderer, rape, and abuse in her titles. And while some of her
What is Simon Cowell there clapping?
content was lighthearted and fun, the vast majority of it didn't fall under YouTube's new guidelines. Nassim felt as if she were being personally victimized by the YouTube system, and instead of trying to work within their new guidelines, Nassim instead protested these
She's too weird to work within their new guys. She couldn't have done it.
measures. On her website,
What? Be aware. Dictatorship exists in all countries, but with different tactics. Oh, she's not wrong about that. They only care for personal short-term profits. She's right about that. And do anything to reach their goals, even by fooling simple-minded people. Hiding the truth, manipulating science, and everything. I agree. Putting public mental and physical health at risk. I agree. Abusing non-human animals. And let's keep it real, human ones too. Polluting the environment. Destroying family values, depending on what she means. Promoting materialism, I agree. And sexual degeneration in the name of freedom. That could be argued. And turning people into program robots. Mostly agree with that too. Make the lie big. I don't know what that means. Make it simple. Make it simple. Keep saying it, and eventually they will believe it. I think Hitler did say that. Is that accurate? Yeah, you keep telling people the same thing over and over again, they'll eventually believe the lie. I believe that's accurate. Why do you think politicians do it all the time? Coal is good for you. Climate change is not real, but scientists are saying the temperature is rising, and we are seeing ice caps melt, and everything they're saying has been accurate. Scientists are lying, but scientists are lying. All right, now I believe you. Scientists are lying. There is no equal growth opportunity on YouTube. I cannot confirm or deny that. I don't know. Or any other video sharing site. Your channel will grow if they wanted to. I will say this, though. That do you think when a celebrity like Will Smith or whoever comes on here, well, maybe not Will Smith now, oh, look, every time I refresh the YouTube window, I'm seeing Will Smith and every other A-list celebrity and talk show host first. What a coincidence. It's almost as if they're paying to prioritize their videos because it's more profitable. And also, so not only is YouTube probably getting paid to put like Jimmy Fallon show, blah, 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 blah first, they're also getting the kickback of the ad revenue, and more advertisers want to put their premium ads in them because they know the content is safe. So I believe that's happening 100%. Videos of targeted users are filtered and merely relegated so that people can hardly see their videos. Yeah, but at the same time, your shit's weird. Like, I don't know. Even though I'm a pretty open-minded guy, if I was selling a product and I saw whatever the fuck she was uploading, I'd be like, you know what? You could pass putting my ads on that, thanks. I mean, so she's kind of right, though. She's kind of right with all this generally. There's a couple things that kind of raised an eyebrow at, but
Nassim wrote this: "Be aware, dictatorship exists in all countries, but with different tactics. They only care for..."
Oh, he's going to read it too. Sorry.
for personal short-term profits and do anything to reach their goals, even by fooling simple-minded people, hiding the truth, manipulating science and everything, putting public mental and physical health at risk, abusing non-human animals, polluting the environment, destroying family values, promoting materialism, sexual degeneration in the name of freedom, and turning people into programmed robots. Make the
Yeah, it
lie
does.
big, make it simple, keep saying it, and eventually they will believe it. Adolf Hitler. There is no free speech in real world.
It does. Isolate a country too, and whatever.
And you will be suppressed for telling the truth that is not supported by the system. Videos of targeted users are filtered and merely regulated so that people can hardly see their videos. There is no equal growth opportunity on YouTube or any other video sharing site. Your channel will grow if they want it to. Nassim also began to
I believe that part is, there's partial truth to it, like I said before with the celebrities and stuff like that. There's partial truth to it.
complain that YouTube was conspiring with Google to hide her website, and that when you were to Google her name, it would no longer populate her official site the way it used to. She then posted this video, stating that YouTube was discriminating and filtering her content. In February 2017, Nassim traveled to the
Because I felt like it. I'm going to be alive again later, too. I just felt like it. I was like, all right, there's no news. The Game Boy video is done. I was like, what am I going to do, just stare at my own ass? I could have. That was actually very entertaining.
YouTube headquarters in Silicon Valley and held up a sign protesting their attack on her channel. The sign read, YouTube dictatorship, hidden policy, promote stupidity, discrimination and suppression of the truth.
Was that a shopped sign, or did she actually go somewhere and hold? It looks like she's actually holding it if you look at the shadows. And we obviously know she doesn't have the editing talent to add those shadows in to make it seem real. So yeah, I think she was actually chilling on some corner. And you guys have these guys on the highway, they're like, what? I don't even go on YouTube. Go away.
She then wrote her website name and share if you hate discrimination, hoping people would see her sign and post about her cause. However, the protest attempt died on the spot. Nassim's anger went largely unnoticed, both by the public and by YouTube. Unfortunately, YouTube's support system doesn't prioritize
The hair gets crazier as she gets crazier, you notice?
smaller creators. And with her channels having less than 100,000 subscribers, she was nowhere near on their radar. But that didn't stop Nassim from feeling personally attacked and discriminated against. Every time she uploaded, her videos were getting struck, entire channels of hers were being demonetized, and on Sunday, March 31st, Nassim had finally had enough. 3 days
Russia last night was back at it again somehow. It's arguments. Russia, you mean? I haven't kept up with it, as strange as that sounds.
before Nassim would attack YouTube headquarters, Nassim got into a fight with her father. While we don't know what the fight was about, as the family has never spoken about it, but from the way Nassim characterized her dad on her YouTube channel and vilified him for choosing to eat meat, it was more than likely that they argued about that. Nassim had openly railed against YouTube, telling her mother that she hated the company and that they were personally attacking her. She felt as if everything in her life was conspiring against her, and she had had enough. She stormed out of the house and into the night, leaving her parents home for...
Yeah, it's bad. It's always bad to have a victim mentality. Like, was I angry yesterday at what happened with me with Geico? Yes, but do I think Geico was, like, targeting me? No, they just have a shitty business practice, and that's what I'm angry at. You can't think that the whole world's conspiring against you, because that's when you want to lash out. That's just, life sucks sometimes.
the last time. Nassim had
First world problems, too, I know, but...
done this before a couple of times. In anger over their lifestyle and their choices, she had made it a
It would have been went way over first world problems if I, God forbid, got into an accident not knowing I was uninsured.
point to leave. So they presumed that she would be back and simply needed some time to cool off.
Dad would be getting butt fucked in prison. Did you know that Philip Burnell is a man? Phil, are you a man? I guess so.
It wasn't until no one was able to reach her that they began to worry. After about a day, Nassim's father contacted...
I drove around do you understand how crazy that is, at least in the States? I don't know how laws around the world work with car insurance. Do you know how fucking bad that was, that I unknowingly was going around with no insurance for over a month? Holy fuck!
The police, letting them know that she hadn't been seen in over 24 hours, and they considered her to be a risk to herself and to others. Her father would later go on to say that because of their fight and because of YouTube's continued attack on her channels, he believed that she could be a danger to herself.
Oh, there's plenty of people. What do you think 90% of all police activity videos that mostly end tragically start with? People uninsured driving around.
And to others, and she might go to the headquarters to protest. That being said, Nassim didn't.
Yeah, but Max, don't take offense to this. Did you do it willingly or unwillingly? If you did it unwillingly, then yes, you win. Jesus Christ. Dude, I just leased a new car. Like, everything, and God forbid, even worse, if I hurt someone in someone else's car, uninsured. Uninsured. I didn't do it purposely. Unwillingly. All right, so you win.
Didn't have any noted mental health or medical.
Like, think about it, man. Like, I mean, not that I get pulled over often, but it's cops doing their things. Like, say I'm dropping my kids off later at night and I'm driving home. Like, cops want to check to see if you're drinking and driving or something. It happens. You realize you have no insurance on this vehicle, right? If the cop's in a shitty mood, he may not just give me a citation. They would definitely tow my car, impound my car, and I might get arrested.
Medical issues that the police were made aware of, which is usually needed to label a missing person.
All because they didn't think I was profitable enough because, like I said, the plan I was under was a family plan where there were teenage kids. They're like, we'll send a letter out. Hopefully he gets it.
At risk. However, Nassim's father told the media that he had indicated that he was worried that she was on her way to the YouTube headquarters, and there was a chance she could cause harm to them, seeing as earlier that year she had purchased a gun. 4 days later, at 1 a.m., the cops found her white Pontiac.
I didn't have the app. I didn't have an app. I wasn't the main person on the account, but they did have my phone number, and they had my address, and they had my email. They could have contacted me many other ways. They didn't.
In a parking lot of a Walmart in Mountain View, only 30 miles away from the YouTube headquarters. After running her car's plates, the cops realized that Nassim was a missing person who could be at risk to herself or others. Because Nassim was a 38-year-old adult woman, she was well within her rights to go missing and leave the family home, meaning the cops had...
You have a DUI? I had a medical emergency. My right ear exploded, yet still in court fighting. How did so you were you drinking when the ear explosion happened? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just curious.
No obligation to bring her back to the home if she said she didn't want to be there. This
That video's in
interrogation was
here.
meant to see if she was mentally stable or a risk to her surroundings. It's also incredibly haunting that hours after this interrogation, Nassim would be dead.
5L32, Melvia.
5L32.
The plate you just ran comes back associated to a missing person out of San Diego. What's your 20?
I'm in the Walmart parking lot.
10-4. Can you just confirm the plate?
Yeah, did you have an eardrum burst or something?
Confirm it's going to be 5.
Were you, not to make a joke about it, but were you like really drunk and you had someone like light their fart on your face and then your ear caught on fire? That would be an itch. I'm sure that they've dealt with shit like that.
With Charles X-ray 469 on a white Pontiac.
10-4 A firm, so it's going to be a match. Should be a 2006 Pontiac, 2-door, and it's associated. Stand by one. Stand by. I have to pull up the map hit.
10-4.
I mean, in the cop's defense here, like, she's a grown-ass woman pushing 40. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, she's sleeping in her car. It's her car. It's registered to her. She, at her age, has daddy problems, and it ain't your problem legally, you know? And they didn't know what she intended to do. I think she had the firearm legally. Or did they even know? Someone is at the... Who's at my door? Oh.
5L32 Mountain View, clear to copy.
Go ahead.
A missing person is a missing adult at risk, name of Nassim Agdam.
Yeah, and she wasn't officially... I mean, obviously, when you see her videos, you know she's fucking crazy, but she wasn't really at risk at any. She wasn't diagnosed with anything. What are the cops going to do?
The Middle Eastern female, 55110, black over black, born in 79. She usually lives with her grandmother. Last seen around noon on the 31st of March. Hasn't been heard from since. Left in her Pontiac.
10-4. There is a female sleeping in the back seat of the vehicle right now.
10-4. 5L. Correction, B36 attached route to.
Hey, Sophia.
View 5L34, 10-7 an occupied vehicle.
Oh, I gotta deal.
Mountain View B36.
B36, go ahead.
What a strange situation all around.
I'm sorry, I missed the reason why she's at risk.
Me too, I'm trying to look for it. Stand by.
Yeah, if she's not diagnosed as anything, what are the cops going to do? Hey, woman pushing 40, you're sleeping in your car that you legally own. You, mommy and daddy are worried. They didn't know what, they aren't psychic. We're not at the precog point yet of, law enforcement, and hopefully we never get there, even though Lord knows.
The category shows at risk, but there's no explanation for that. We're contacting San Diego right now to make sure she's still considered outstanding.
10-4.
Yes, Pontiac. I had a Saturn.
Missing. This is
Captain
Christine.
Morgan.
Hi, this is the
Had a
Mountain View Police
Saturn
Department
View.
up in Northern California.
Uh-huh.
Hi, we are out with a vehicle that you showed to be associated to a missing person at risk.
Okay.
We are just trying to figure out what was going on with the case that made her at risk. She's like a missing adult.
Okay, what do you have for the... Do you have the FCN by chance?
I think I heard what they said that was unintelligible, because I think she's a missing adult. If you're a missing adult and they find you and talk to you and there's nothing that keeps you from having any kind of psychological handicaps, at least that are documented, they can't do anything.
Let me see. Hold on.
Or what information do you have for me?
I had a
I can give you
Uranus.
the plate.
I still have a flat anus now.
Do that. What is the plate?
The plate is 5.
Well, yeah, Henry,
Charles
a
X-ray
lot of
469.
GMs were just badge engineering.
Actually, I could have given you the name and the date of birth.
They would just slap a new badge on and sell it as a different kind of car. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Missing person vehicle. There's our case number. Okay, let me... Wait a minute. 1-811-7269. Here, what we have. Voluntary missing, at risk.
Yeah, they had like Pontiac in the end, like Pontiacs and Saturns and Buicks and whatever other god. I mean, Buick's still around, but whatever other god, they were all the same fucking car with just different logos slapped on. It was like, what the? Why do you even exist? It's not like you're differentiating yourself with different products.
Put her at risk.
It's like buying another different skin in Fortnite.
On here.
Oh, yeah. Didn't
I'm
say
like,
anything
that's
either.
weird. Entry. And sometimes they do it just because there's no prior missing.
Okay.
But let's see. It didn't say it all on here.
So they entered
Yep.
her.
Buick. Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Saturn, GMC, GM. Yep.
At risk because she had no prior missing reports, and it was unusual for her to just disappear.
I have watched Meat Canyon videos.
There's a 1021 for the father in the hit.
Here, the police specify that there was no reason that they were made aware of as to why she would be labeled as at risk. To people who have watched Nassim's content and gone over the things she has said online, it is very clear.
Yeah, it's obvious that she was fucking crazy, but we just start going by, hey, I just have a hunch, then people are just going to get put in jail all the time.
That there,
hopefully we don't get there.
There's some amount of mental illness that was being.
I mean, here's freedom working for you. Granted, we know what she was about to do, but this is how freedom works. You know what I mean? I gotta piss. For better or for worse, this is, you need freedom. The weed really kicked in, so I made coffee.
Your shoulders.
Try to relax your anus. Try to relax your anus. Trying to make sure every fucking drop goes in there. I will never not drink coffee in a tumbler again. Especially after the tragedy that happened last time.
Being untreated. However, no one in her life could provide a reason as to why she was at risk, so she, as an adult, didn't need to be brought back to her home.
10-4.
The exit is going to be 10:30.
Yeah, pretty much. Relax anus and sir coffee.
Otherwise invalid.
Huh? You gotta wake her up. Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like, the at-risk might be she hasn't been missing before, and Dad was just like... Right, they're probably doing it at risk.
I mean, as I say this, I'm aware that I sit here stone kissing birds and get shirtless. But her videos weren't, I don't really, I mean, she did parodies, but those were meant ironically. Like, she really thought, like, man, I'm on a mission. I'm going to tell people about veganism. Like, your daughter is 40, like pushing 40 and willingly sleeping on a twin-sized bed. I mean, I understand it may be a cultural thing with her culture, but isn't there red flags there?
From
79. She was in 20s.
79. 30. Nassim. Oh, Jesus.
Hey, that's what happens on this team when there's
Nah.
stuff going on.
Well, I mean, I saw him. I didn't see he was here. Her head's right here.
What Opal was that Pontiac, the G6? Yeah, and it's sad because, like I said, Jessica, you know the weirdest, the tragic irony of this all is, she was so weird that she probably would have in some way eventually caught on for a little bit, and probably would have made an insane amount of money where she wouldn't have had to work another day in her life, or because she's insane, she would probably would have squandered all of it, but.
Hey, police. Hello.
God, you gotta be so uncomfortable. I hate sleeping in any car, unless it would be like a camper that was like designed with an actual bed in it. I hate sleeping in cars, man. It's worst. I think I've only done it like once in my life, and that was one too many fucking times. Yes. This is the one that shot up YouTube headquarters that luckily no one got killed. People got shot. They were in critical condition, but all of them made full recoveries.
Hi, are you Nassim? Hey, so you were reported as missing. Yeah, as missing from San Diego?
Yeah, I left my family.
Okay. You don't live with them anymore? Okay. Can I just ask, if you don't mind, why you left?
We don't get along together, so I left them.
Okay. Do you have ID on you by chance? So did you just
Imagine she had like a chicken mask on the passenger seat.
decide to move, or?
I almost wish she did. She might be still alive. The cop's like, yeah, this woman is fucking crazy. We need to take her in. These cops are on point, though. Always make sure you... I mean, she did have a gun in there, too. Always make sure you keep the lights right on them, bright, to make sure that they're not pulling anything else out except the thing you asked for. Yes, it is disgusting. I just gave you my thoughts, Kyle. What the fuck were you doing for about an hour? What were you imagine hearing an active shooter in the school too, and you are law enforcement and you know what they're doing.
Yeah. Were you just not getting along with your family?
Yeah, with my father.
With your brother?
No, but with my father.
With your father?
How long have you been here in Mountain View?
I left home.
I'm hoping that story is being stretched out of proportion, Kyle, and that's not true, that that's what actually happened. There's a lot of misinformation that comes out in chaos, and I hope against hope that that story is not true. True, excuse me. Troll.
Oh, wow.
What is troll?
Okay. Okay.
It's funny how normal she kind of seems here, too.
I guess you've never done that before, huh? Okay, so your family was worried about you. Okay. I guess they called San Diego Police Department and reported you missing. Okay.
Oh, you didn't tell your parents or family or anything? Did you tell anybody where you went? Did you tell anybody where you went? Oh, okay.
Have they tried calling you? Oh, you don't have a phone? Or you didn't answer?
I don't answer it.
But did they try calling you?
My main phone that I used to call to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. And from a law enforcement perspective, she doesn't have any flags when they pull up her records to say that she's mentally ill. She doesn't have any legal. So what would they have to say? No, you're almost 40. You have to go home to mommy and daddy because they want you there. That's actual freedom in America. That's her. They didn't know. Obviously, they're not psychics. They didn't know the full outcome. That is a grown woman, had a fallout with her family in a car that she owned sleeping. What can they do? You want freedom. That's it right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a phone on you at all? You have a phone?
Oh,
okay. Do you mind if I have it? I won't give it to them.
Yeah, cops can't really do anything about it. R7, she's an adult. What can they do? If the car was stolen or something like that, or if she had a flag that she's schizo and she's off her meds, that's different. But they can't do anything. You can't just have an adult, whether you think it's strange or not, in a car they own and say, no, your mommy and daddy are worried about you. Got to take you away. The fuck is that? These cops did nothing wrong.
You can probably find it on your phone.
Taking a long ass
Are
time,
you
though.
taking any type of medication at all? No. Are you supposed to take medication? Okay.
I would need a Xanax smoothie to fall asleep in a fucking car. I don't know how people do it, unless I said the car is designed to have a full-size bed in it.
You don't want to hurt yourself, do you? Or you don't want to hurt anybody else? You don't want to commit suicide or anything like that, right? Okay.
When asked if she was...
I mean, I get that it's smart to ask, but if someone really wants to, like really, really wants to, they're not going to tell you, obviously.
Taking any medication, or if she is supposed to take medication, Nassim looks directly at the officer and says no, while shaking her head. She is then immediately asked if she wants to hurt herself or hurt others, at which point she turns her head completely away from
I don't think they knew about the gun.
the officer and back to the phone in her hand. She shakes her head, but doesn't say no. The complete turn and change from verbal confirmation to timid nonverbal when unnoticed by the police. However, in retrospect, it does indicate that she had already decided what it was that she was going to do.
Are you ever planning on going back home? No? Okay, fair enough. Do you have any friends or anybody out here? No?
She wasn't planning, sadly, on going back to anywhere.
So where did you go from San Diego? It didn't take you a month to get here, did it? It didn't take you a month to get here, did it?
No, I left yesterday morning and at night I was here.
Oh, okay, so you left yesterday.
Oh, just 2 days ago.
Yeah,
I'm playing Jessica, Demon Souls.
for some reason I thought it was... Oh, you're right.
March.
Okay, March 31st. Okay, yeah, you're right. March 31st. Okay. Okay.
And then you just drove straight here?
Why Mountain View? I mean, I know it's a great city and everything, but...
One of my cousins lives around here.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to get out of those areas. South San Diego, I have memories. I don't want to have...
I gotcha.
Somewhere new.
Something new.
Start fresh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no memories from past.
Ah, very good.
Nassim lies about why she chose Mountain View. However, her reasoning as wanting something new is something that plenty of people in between housing would state when talking to the police. So it raised no red flags. California is also an incredibly popular state with people living out of their cars. So no doubt the cops thought nothing of her weak reasoning.
Okay, fair enough.
What can I find the number?
Go into... So...
I was just trying to get the
Oh,
password.
you're trying to get your password?
You know what I actually want? Someone mentioned buying an animal. I want a pug.
Okay. So if you go into your settings, or you're going to your phone, where your phone is at, right? Go all the way back. Go all the way back to your... And go to your phone here. And...
I love pugs. They're not disgusting.
It should say... Can I see it? Is that okay?
Like a dog, yes.
It's a Android, right? So that's why I don't know how to work it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Usually it says on there.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is that we sometimes get people that park their...
They're very sweet dogs. I know because they have their snouts, they require some more maintenance, because I've had plenty of pugs in my family, but I want a pug. Yes, but they are very sweet dogs, and since they exist, I might as well shelter one, you know what I mean?
There's stolen vehicles here, and so we run all the plates that are out in the parking lot, and when he ran the plate, it came back to you, but it came back as a missing person. At least in an iPhone, it's usually in the phone.
I might just call my own number, I guess. Because for Android, usually it's within the settings under...
Go back. Hit phone. Hit 411 and more.
Yeah, I'll try to adopt first.
Never mind.
I've always had great experience. They're very sweet dogs.
The Siri type? No. The Android doesn't have Siri. It has Google Assistant? Hold the home button and see if it...
Jesus.
What's my phone number? Nah, I don't want to. I just call my work still.
That's fine.
That'll work.
So all we're gonna do, we just had to make sure that you were okay. So we have to call your dad. We're just gonna let him know that you're fine and you wish not to be contacted. And we check your well, we have to tell him. We have to tell him that we found you, right? But, I mean,
Yeah, they have zero tech
legally
training.
we have to do that. We have to say, well, we found her.
I guess it's not a requirement. Should be,
It's
though.
fine. She left home because she doesn't want to be there anymore, and She doesn't want to be contacted. And that's all we tell them. Okay? And then if you choose to contact your family, you can. But what we'll do is we'll take your name and the car out of the system so you won't be reported missing anymore. Okay? Is there anything you want us to tell your parents? Okay.
Okay. Alrighty.
You're welcome.
I mean, yeah. If I have to give those cops a grade, I would give them an A. Like, what else were they supposed to do? That's how the system works. Freedom of choice, you know?
After Nassim's brief encounter with the police, she seemed to be galvanized in her cause. She had lied to the police when she stated that she didn't want to cause harm to herself or anyone else, as she had spent the prior day at a gun range preparing for what she had planned to do. In the morning, Nassim traveled the 30 miles from Mountain View to San Bruno and parked in a parking structure located across the street from the YouTube headquarters. She then walked onto the campus and found the open outdoor patio, where plenty of workers were sat eating lunch. After a moment, Nassim pulled out the 9mm Smith & Wesson semi-automatic pistol that she had bought mere months before this occasion, and opened fire on the crowd. She shot sporadically, with no set target, and aimed to take down as many people as she could. She first hit 2 women who had been...
I don't understand. Like, what? I mean, I know she was crazy, but for what? YouTube ad revenue? And what was that going to do? What was the... What were you shooting at? You may have been just shooting at the fucking janitor, for all you know. That's really going to change you. Insanity is insane, I know.
And eating on the patio, ages 32 and 27. She then hit a man aged 36 as he fled the gunfire, hoping to get to safety. Fortunately, she wasn't able to hit anyone else. However, another person fell whilst fleeing and greatly hurt her ankle in the chaos. Almost immediately after Nassim started firing, chaos erupted. People inside YouTube's campus had no idea what had occurred, and one worker tweeted out, "We were sitting in a meeting and then we heard people running because it was rumbling the floor. First, we thought it was an earthquake." Other employees tweeted while Nassim was shooting, barricading themselves in their offices and sending out a mass goodbye in case something were to happen to them. However, after the initial round of fire, Nassim seemed to realize that she wouldn't be able to do any more damage. Only 3 people had been hit, and already so much of the area had been cleared out. The cops had already been called, and she could hear their sirens, as it took less than 200 seconds for them to arrive on scene. It was then that
it's actually pretty quick.
Nassim decided to take her own life.
Was it like 3.5 minutes? Well, yeah, through like 3.5 minutes.
Placing the gun to her temple and pulling the trigger. Luckily, the only life Nassim was able to take that day was her own. While the 2 victims had been in critical condition when they arrived at the Zuckerberg Hospital in San Francisco, absolutely everyone who had been injured made a full recovery. However, thousands were affected by this tragedy. Nassim was undoubtedly suffering from some untreated form of mental illness and believed
a severe form of mental illness.
Without evidence that YouTube and Google were conspiring against her. She believed wholeheartedly that the world at large
depends on the state. But it's easy enough that we have a problem here that statistics back up. Other nations have different problems. I understand that. Even with violence, I understand that. But these school mass shootings, compared to anywhere else, we are in spades. We have way more than any other country.
And the powers that be were conspiring against her as well, because of her beliefs and her animal rights activism, and there was nothing anyone could do to convince her otherwise. After the attack, all of her social media platforms were taken offline, save for her Telegram page, where she posted in Farsi.
I mean, it's just numbers and statistics. You can't even debate me on it. You know what I mean? It's not even like an opinion on a belief or a policy. It's these are the numbers, these are the facts, these are the statistics. You may not like them, but that's what they are.
It remains a time capsule and a look inside the mind of someone who planned to take as many innocent lives as she could, all because of a perceived wrong. Thank you for watching this episode of Dreading. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe down below. If you have a case you would like us to cover next, please let us know in the comments. And if you feel so inclined, please share this video. YouTube does suppress true crime content, and any support is welcomed. Have a good night and stay safe.
The case of, I'm actually, now this guy got me. Yeah, that's... Yes. We'll at least start it. Oh, Jared Fogle.
Try to relax your anus.
That Jared had begun taking...
This story,
when most
there's
people...
details that this guy found out. It involves horses. It involves horses. Because it's like funny, like what's horrifying is you say these things, aha, horse, no, it really involves horses. Oh, Rich, that preacher's not telling people to replace their furniture with buckets of fucking food that could last for 30 years so he can make a bunch of... Oh, yes, he's exactly doing that. The comedy of life is the tragedy of it.
People think of fame, they think of a person getting recognition or attention for being skilled in some way, shape, or form. Being a tremendous actor, an above-average singer, a fantastic lyricist are all reasons why...
My editor's sending me a bunch of B-roll right now. I'll have to check it out later.
One might make millions of dollars every year and be revered by their peers. Even celebrities who are supposedly famous for just being famous are blessed with skills that make them brilliant at keeping the media's attention and focus on them, and turning that into profit. Usually, in the cases that we cover involving...
There's also just some lucky motherfuckers who tripped into it.
Celebrities, they are universal...
You could argue that. I mean, I'm not a multi-billionaire, but I do okay. I kind of tripped into this shit.
Universally adored for their incredible skills, and over time have lost touch with their own humanity.
To lighten the mood, of course. There were some pretty light moments with her weird-ass videos, though.
Try to relax your anus.
Wow.
Mr. Hands, yeah, I heard about that story.
They feel above normal people, and therefore not beholden to any law. However, that couldn't be further from the truth with today's subject, as he made millions and gained fame by simply eating a sandwich every day.
It's so true. And it's such a... I mean, I know it was a great marketing tool for a while for Subway, but... It's such a, like, he went from eating like 10,000 calories a day to like 1,200 overnight. He's lucky that didn't kill him alone. Like, that's such a bad, and he just cut down, like, it's all about caloric intake. I mean, obviously there's other things like, you know, cholesterol and stuff like that, but 1,000 calorie salad and 1,000 calorie cookie both have the same amount of calories. So if you cut down your caloric intake, I know enough about this. I used to be much larger. Yes, I know I'm still fat. Go fuck yourself, but I'm much less fat. Thank you. Stream is in mint condition. Thank you, Ashens. So a calorie is a calorie is a calorie. There was nothing magical in Subway. He just cut back on his calories, allegedly, from Subway.
Mr. Fogle, no denying your body's changed over the years.
Yes.
Sir, this committee must know, did you ingest anything that helped create this change in your physique?
Yes.
Go on.
Usually a 6-inch turkey breast sub for lunch and a foot-long veggie delight for dinner.
You get those over the counter?
Yes, at a Subway restaurant.
What is this? We're going to need more evidence.
Am I free to go?
Welcome back to another episode of Dreading, brought to you in part by our Patreon.
Yeah, I mean their food is, you can eat it, but yeah, it's just the same shit just anywhere. You know, but a lot of people don't realize that though, man. Like, what has more calories, a 1,000 calorie Big Mac or a 1,000 calorie salad? There's a lot of people that will say the Big Mac, but no, the 1,000 calories is 1,000 calories is 1,000 fucking calories.
Over the past week or so, our videos have randomly been struck by YouTube, with certain videos getting their comments shut down for hours at a time, and other videos simply not appearing.
Yeah, Quiznos had some bangers, but their prices got out. I mean, their prices are ridiculous now too, especially for their prices towards the end before they shut down. I don't even know if Quiznos is still a thing, but they're all shut down by me. Their prices towards the end got fucking ridiculous. You're better off going to a restaurant.
On our channel or in search results. In a couple of instances, our whole channel was not appearing.
Abby, 1,000 calories is 1,000 calories. Thank you, Abby.
Try to relax your anus.
I mean, it was, especially at peak Quiznos before they went downhill, it was better food than Subway's. But it wasn't like fucking $17 back in 05 good. The fuck is wrong? Like anywhere from like 14 to 17 bucks if you got the meal deal, the large sub, which was like a foot long from them. It was insane.
Hearing site-wide, which was concerning, but seemingly more of a glitch than anything. We've been trying to work this out behind the scenes, but if something were to occur with our videos on this platform, we will always have the original edits of our videos on Patreon for your consumption. I will leave it down in the description if you feel inclined to check it out, but with any luck, YouTube will sort itself out. I want to make it clear that even if all of the videos are demonetized and struck, I would still create content and put it on this platform in whatever way YouTube will allow. Even if there is no money to be made, I will still make content and make it free to be viewed for everyone. The Patreon is just in case anyone wanted to support the channel itself. Today, we're going to be...
See, I don't understand why shit like this gets demonetized. The news puts fucking ads all over tragedy. Like when the Ukraine war, didn't someone put up a meme like CNN put like an Arby's commercial like right in the middle of like showing Ukraine coverage with like the sirens going off? Like, why is that not okay for a YouTuber? I don't get it. Oh, because we can't preview or anything. But if so long as YouTuber's not like saying, yes, violence is great. I don't know.
Be talking about the case of Jared Fogle.
Like this is just a documentary on Jared Fogle and how horrible he was, backed up with evidence. Why can't that be monetized? Just weird. It's weird. What would you do if I stayed like this for the rest of the stream and just didn't do anything else?
Better known as Subway Jared. This case was...
the Applebee's ad. Yeah. It was so ridiculous. Like, and people are complaining about YouTubers. These motherfuckers, there's literally about a bomb about to drop, basically. And they're like, hey, go get something to eat, you fat American fuck. Looks like Jared Fogle is going to try to relax my anus. That's the way he's looking at it. He was just such an... The thing that makes it more horrific and amazing about Jared Fogle is that he looks like he's asexual. Like, he looks like he's a person that has never thought about sex. But here he is, the biggest, most disgusting child-raping pervert on the planet.
Everywhere when it broke. But there have been plenty of updates on it that most people don't know, as they haven't been widely reported on. This video was by far our most requested video, with over 100 comments being left asking for me to cover this story.
Yeah, because it's such an insane story. And what a thing to fuck up, too. He literally won a lottery ticket for shilling shitty food and saying, hey, you could lose weight with this even though there's nothing special about it. And became a multi-millionaire and fucked it all up. You're a bird. So are you.
If you have a suggestion of a subject you would like to see
I've never had In-N-Out
be covered, feel free to leave it in the comments down below or send me an email. If you like true crime content and would like to see more, please consider liking and subscribing. With that said, let us begin. Jared Fogle was born August 23, 1977, in Indianapolis, Indiana. Growing up, Fogle was a good-natured, well-liked kid. However,
I mean, the lengths he is, dude. If he was anybody else, they would have had a life sentence in prison without question. Like, he was on missions. He, like, paid people finder's fees to find him underage hookers. Any Joe Schmo did that, they would be under the fucking prison. He gets a 12-year sentence.
He became obsessed with video games early on. Every day, Jared would spend hours sitting in front of his parents' television and playing whatever new game.
No, he's still in jail. But he got like a 12, 13-year sentence. He's basically half done with his stint, essentially.
He acquired. He would rush through homework and any family time just to get back to playing video games, and it became the center of his life. His love for video games masked something much bigger, though, and that was his love for food. Every time Jared would sit down to play for hours on end, he would surround himself with snacks to make sure he didn't need to get up mid-level to eat. He'd raid his parents' pantry for chips, sweets, and whatever he could get his hands on. By the time he was done gaming, they would all be gone. In a couple of hours, he would have mindlessly eaten his way through multiple bags of Doritos, Cheetos, boxes of Pop-Tarts, cereal, and liters of soda. This was...
Jesus Christ. I know I'm a fat fuck. It was a much, much fatter fuck, but I never did anything like that. I don't know what to say. I know people want me to pretend there was a point where I was sitting there shirtless smearing, sour cream on my nipples, but I wasn't.
Was his normal routine all throughout his childhood. By the time he was 19 and going to Indiana University, Bloomington, he weighed 425 pounds. By that time, he was drinking, on average, 15 cans of soda and eating upwards of 10,000 calories a day, all while playing video games. This has been Jared's life for a long period of time. He was used to being overweight and struggling more than his friends to do certain things.
Now, I wonder if he was abused, because usually that's where it stems from.
Across campus was a struggle. He found himself leaving a lot earlier to go to class than the rest of his friends. He would often be sweaty and out of breath. Going anywhere with friends, likewise, proved to be a struggle, as he would constantly have to request they slow down their pace for him. Even staying awake became an issue. But that would all change one day while driving to school. Jared suffered from sleep apnea because of his obesity and hadn't been sleeping well for quite some time. Because of his intense exhaustion, he had begun to sporadically fall asleep in public, leading to multiple embarrassing moments. But it wasn't until one day while driving back to campus, when Jared fell asleep at the wheel and crashed his car into a tree, that he realized that his weight had gotten out of control, and he desperately needed to change his ways. Realizing that the crash could have killed him and others around him, he was determined to make a change. He decided that in the coming new year, he was going to dedicate himself to losing weight and being a more active person. And unlike so many New Year's resolutions, he followed through.
By the way.
Jared had decided that he was going to change his eating habits entirely. He switched to a diet that...
There he was at his skinniest. He never got anywhere near as big as he was, but yeah, your weight fluctuates a little bit too.
That any nutritionist or dietitian would never recommend. The diet consisted of him eating at the fast food restaurant Subway, with him getting only one small turkey sub in the morning and one large veggie sub at night, along with baked potato chips and a diet soda. As for why Jared chose Subway, according to him, he lived just 10 steps away from one on campus, and he didn't want to do more than that. Of course, the diet worked, as any calorie deficit diet will cause you to lose weight, but the radical shift from...
I love how he had Jared Fogle, health expert. So basically he's like, yo, I was too lazy to go anywhere else and it was food and I ate it. Hey, whatever.
10,000 calories daily to less than 2,000 could have caused real damage to his metabolism and his body in general. But Jared made the diet himself, and he could care less about the actual effects on his body, sans the weight loss. All he knew is that his diet was working, and others were taking notice. So much so that Jared was featured in an article written by his former roommate about his weight loss for the Indiana Daily Student, which was the on-campus newspaper. The article talked about how in the span of 1 year, Jared had going from 425 to 180 pounds. And how
that's way too fast to lose that. Holy fuck, man.
How when they had seen each other on campus, Jared had lost so much weight that he couldn't even recognize him. Jared spoke about how his life had ultimately changed for the better, and how he was now able to do things he never dreamed of doing, like leisurely walking around the campus. The article landed on the front page of the Indiana Student Daily for the sheer spectacle of it all, but oddly enough, it ended up garnering the attention of Dwayne Swarinski, a writer for the magazine Men's Health. Serendipitously, the writer was working on an article about
what a weird fucking way to get famous. It's insane.
Weird diets that actually worked, and stumbled upon Jared's Subway story. The image of a man dropping 245 pounds in a year was startling, and Dwayne decided that he would include the story in the next issue. But because he wasn't able to get a hold of Jared prior to the publication, he changed his name to James. After the Men's Health article came out, the story of a man who lost more than half his body weight by eating at a fast food chain, Subway realized they had something special on their hands and quickly contacted Jared. They wanted to take his story to the next level and use it in their marketing. They spoke to Jared about appearing in commercials and telling his story, and Jared, of course, accepted.
And there is the lottery ticket he was handed.
Thinking that at the most, he would star in some locally broadcast commercials for a summer. He had no idea how momentous the reaction would be.
Here is Jared Fogle. You may have seen him on the news or a talk show. He was inspired.
Yeah, he already did like half his sentence because he went to jail in 2015.
Inspired by Subway's great-tasting sandwiches. Jared believes in an active lifestyle, including lots of walking. At the heart of Jared's routine are Subway sandwiches.
Hey, Jared.
Unfortunately, I have a feeling he'll do something again. Just keeping it real. Don't want to see it happen to anybody, but with how insatiable his appetite for underage kids was, you'll see. There's no way he's not going to reoffend. It's just impossible to me to think that he definitely will.
Hey guys. At Subway, you can choose from 7 sandwiches.
I give him like a year after he gets out until he just gives it and gets caught doing something stupid.
With 6 grams of fat or less, and they all taste great. Food for thought. Subway, it's the way a sandwich should.
God, he chewed on that so awkward. Let's look at that again. Wait, no. Where's this commercial here? We're just going to slow this down. I want to see that man chew in slow motion.
Inspired by...
Here. There is a man staring at a sign. He wants the beef in his mouth. Now he is walking down the street awkwardly. That's so just walking like that by themselves, like fuck off. Hi, I want a sandwich. Put tomatoes on there. Put another tomato. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Do you want your sandwich, sir? Donating this because Rich is a cool dude. Thank you. Oh, there. Hey, I'm an awkward asshole.
Try to relax your anus.
The cucumber's still around, Tiberius Monk. Thank you. But we gotta wait for the chewing. The chewing is coming. The chewing. Where he chews like a fucking horse. Watch this shit. Here we go.
Your shoulders.
Here we go.
Try to relax your anus.
Look at that mouth. Look at it.
Your shoulders.
Oh, God bless Subway. All right. Oh, man.
This program is brought to you by Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
The first Subway ad featuring Jared.
God, that shit sounds so retro. Oh, shit. That lid was not on there tight. Luckily, it stayed up straight. That's what she said. Yeah, it's just amazing, Adrian. That could have been way more I did not need that tragedy, and I'm glad that did not end tragic. Yeah, it's like not even... And the rubber seal is there. The rubber must be wearing. That's like... It's not even sticking on. Okay, note to self. Hold that from the bottom. I gotta piss. Perfect face to pause this on.
Try to relax your anus.
My mic is going limp. Fuckbirds. You know what's funny is some voice actors before that I've talked to, I wouldn't even call them friends, but I've just interacted with them. Like, they all, like, worked with Jared Fogle, and no one had anything nice to say. Said he was a dick who really liked really perverted jokes. And it wasn't even that, like, I like perverted jokes too, but they were like, no, you don't get, it was like really like, it was like working with a 10-year-old child with a big ego, which is pretty much 95% of Hollywood, but they said it was like exceptional even with him.
Aired on January 1st, 2000, and immediately took off. Most people who saw it were convinced that a diet that consisted of eating nothing but fast food would cause them to lose weight and was somehow healthier than alternative methods, not realizing that what they were doing was a crash diet with a very low likelihood of success. But because Jared was an average guy who could say it worked for him...
I mean, at the time, now the argument can be made, look, you get healthy options at McDonald's and wherever now if you know what you're looking for, and there's salads with grilled chicken on them and shit. But back then, that wasn't as much of a thing when he first did this. Like, so you could actually, if you knew the proper things to get on it, yeah, it was fairly healthy, especially compared to the other shit the other fast food competitors had. But it was still just a fucking sandwich, a mediocre one at that.
And had
Ray
pictures to
Liotta,
prove
rest
it.
in
People
peace,
flocked to Subway to try it for themselves. People were likewise tricked into thinking that Subway was healthier than other fast food options at the time.
Depending on what you got in it, it was. This is kind of inaccurate what he's saying. It is.
Jared, touting his weight loss and their continued slogan of "Eat Fresh," convinced an entire generation of people that eating there was better than any other fast food place, despite it being just about the same. Subway immediately...
That's not true. That's not true. You know, getting a roasted chicken sandwich with mustard on it, lettuce and tomatoes and peppers on a 6-inch on wheat bread is a hell of a lot healthier than a Big Mac that's about the same size, without question. Much less calories, much less fat. Obviously, I'm not a nutritionist, but that's just, those are numbers and statistics.
Immediately pounced on Jared, realizing that his everyman persona was the perfect jumping off point for ads. There was nothing special about Jared. He just looked like a run-of-the-mill guy who looked like he could live next door to you, which made him more trustworthy to the consumer.
The irony in that. The irony in that.
His story appealed to the everyday person because they understood what it was like to have gained weight unintentionally and seeing someone who wasn't cool or famous, who didn't have access to a
He sure as fuck wasn't cool.
Nutritionist or a dietitian, and who had just decided he was going to lose the weight and do so successfully appealed to them. Psychologically, people respond better to marketing when it comes from a source that they feel they can relate to, rather than someone they feel is being paid to promote a product. This is often called brand relatability. Though Subway had had celebrity athletes promote their products, the sales were minuscule in comparison to the ads featuring Jared.
Yeah, because it was just, when you see a celebrity, and it's especially now in 2022 where the prestige of like a Hollywood celebrity has been diluted because of all the other options for content out there. It's like, okay, wow, gee, this unrelatable person likes something that they got paid millions of dollars to pretend to like. Wow. It's like fucking... I brought this up a while back, but like when Gal Gadot blocked MKBHD just because he pointed out, she's like, "Oh, I love my whatever Android phone." This was posted from an iPhone right on Twitter, and he pointed, "Oh man, you really love that iPhone. You really love that Android phone from your iPhone, huh?" And she blocked him, or her publicist blocked him. Oh my god, yeah. Gee, I wonder why people don't give a fuck about celebrities promoting shit. No idea. Maybe because they're not genuine at all. Now the knowledge that it's not just about fat grabs is becoming more and more so Subway wouldn't be able to skate along that way. Yeah, it's calories. It's other, like, calories are calories are calories. If you get 500, it doesn't matter where you get them from, that's your caloric intake.
As people felt they could trust him, seeing as he was just some guy. Of course, the heads of advertising at Subway realized this immediately, and after the resounding success of his first ad, they offered him the deal of a lifetime for $1.1 million per year or $91,000 per month. Jared would agree to appear in countless ads for the brand, including to do nationwide appearances at grand openings and Subway-specific events. Jared, who was just
nuts. All because there was a fucking Subway at his college campus and he could waddle his way there at the time. God damn, life is fair, unfair, strange, cruel, and not cruel at the same time.
22 and fresh out of college with no further
Yo, like imagine being 22 and you get a gig like this just because you lost a bunch of fucking weight. And he fucked it up. That's the most amazing part of it all. He fucked it up.
Prospects swiftly agreed. The success of the ad campaign led to him being interviewed by the Herald Times, where they went into detail about how unattainable his weight loss had been, and how most people would have experienced withdrawal-like symptoms with such a swift
I know what that was like. Again, yes, I know I'm still fat, but I was way over 100 pounds more. Yeah, those like first couple weeks of, not eating a ton of bread at midnight, you feel it.
Caloric deficit. Regardless, Jared said it's what worked for him, and went further to say, this weight loss, it's like it's given me my life back. I'm an average guy now, and it feels really good to be average.
But for certain people, it's lenient. I mean, we were watching that police activity video, or it was one of those, like Code Blue channel or something like that, where that guy was working at a bar and he like brushed against like a 10-year-old, like he grabbed a 10-year-old girl's ass. I think grabbed. Okay. You could get up to 60 years just for that assault, which that is assault, full stop. He's going and brags and admits to fucking allegedly fucking like a 6-year-old girl and meeting underage prostitutes, and it's proven, and he gets 12 years? Privilege much? You know what I mean? Yeah, they've been talked about for a while, and it's not really that surprising. Like, we know they're going to do that, Superstar. I didn't mean to skip your super chat. My apologies. So I don't know. That might just be TCL talking shit because they just want to sell more TVs. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, believe me, that fucking disgusting piece of shit grabbing that girl's ass. Hell yeah. She was 10 years old or something like that. He definitely should get jail time without question. But I'm saying he could get up to 60 years for that, and this motherfucker is literally a rapist. Both things are disgusting. I want to make that abundantly clear. And he's getting out in 6 years. He still has a full life ahead of him. which I'm telling you he's going to fuck it up. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. I don't want to see him assault a child, but I'm telling you he's going to reoffend.
Jared wasn't an average guy. The success of the Subway campaign was monumental, and Jared became one of the most successful spokespersons of all time. In the following year, after the campaign, Subway sales would grow 18%, then another 16% after that. Subway sponsored a national tour for Jared, where he would appear at Subways across America, talk about the benefits of fitness and healthy eating, which he knew virtually nothing about, and then eat his famous Subway sandwiches in front of everyone in attendance. He'd also been able to, for the first time in his life, be part of a romantic relationship. After his weight loss in the first commercial airing, Jared had started seeing a fellow Indianapolis University graduate who he had been interested in for a while. After about a year of dating, the pair decided to get married, and she was even featured in some of the Subway ads.
I wonder if they'll put him in some kind of witness protection program too, because you know people will be gunning for this guy.
In 2001, after getting married to his first wife and continuing to tour the country and eat, Jared was interviewed by the Herald Times once more and stated about his increased celebrity. "I'm not like an actor or a singer. This is something that's going to have a limited lifespan. I know that. I just want to maximize the experience." And maximize...
Jared Fogle, actual idiot. And you know what's funny is that they were about to put out another ad in he was doing this from like 99 to 2015. He had a run with, and that the run with, not only him becoming famous for something so stupid was insane, the run that he had with it was astronomical. Who knows, he's still, even if he wasn't a fucking child rapist monster, he still may be doing it now. All because he lost weight from a huge calorie deficit and eating sandwiches because he was too lazy to go anywhere else to eat them, and he fucked it up. You know?
As it he did.
So without further ado, let's welcome Jared Fogle.
My big thing was never smoking. It was never drinking. Obviously, it wasn't doing drugs. My big vice was food. And before I knew it, I wound up weighing 425 pounds. I brought in a present for you. My old pants that are now made famous in all the Subway commercials. There you go. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing to have this celebrity, but it happened. And I mean, there's less chance of this happening than probably actually winning the lottery, and it's amazing that he still squandered it all.
This is my daughter,
Luckily, he got caught, because Lord knows what else he'd be doing now, but...
Victoria. She's an 8th grade honors student, and you're a real inspiration to the kids. I really appreciate that.
In 2004, after being the spokesperson for Subway for 4 years, Jared established the Jared Foundation, which was superficially lauded as a non-profit organization with a focus on raising awareness around childhood obesity through educational programs.
Yeah, but this is what it was really about. Listen to this.
The foundation worked in unison with Jared, and he would go on speaking tours to middle schools, talking to kids about how to be healthy and stay active, and how this should be a priority for them. And he would bring out the pants he used to wear when he was 425 pounds as a storytelling device. For most of the children meeting Jared...
He's such a weird-looking, asexual-looking guy. Not saying that I'm sexy. I know I'm not confirmed. He just looks like... I don't know. He just looked like a person... Obviously, I know... I'm not stupid. Like, he just doesn't think about sex. Like, he's just like a weird mannequin that eats sandwiches. But yeah, here he is, the biggest fucking pervert in the world.
He was the only celebrity they had ever come into contact with, and they thought he was insanely cool. After his speeches, he would hang out around the school, signing autographs, giving advice, and playing games with the kids on the schoolyard. Despite the many photo ops, press events, and speeches given across the world, the foundation was a thinly veiled attempt for Jared to make money without being taxed. No grand...
Yeah, it was a tax scheme like every other fucking rich person does. Most rich people do. It's a way to it's a charity, even though you're not really doing a fucking thing, but legally it's a charity, so it's a legal loophole that you don't get in trouble and you get to keep the money. Don't ever say you're not sexy again.
Try to relax your anus. Your shoulders.
Grants were ever issued by the foundation towards any meaningful action towards preventing or combating childhood obesity. And Jared would ask the various schools.
It also gave him access to kids, so to him, for a piece of shit like him, it was the best of both worlds. It gives me access to underage kids, which I have an insatiable lust for, which is disgusting. And I get to not pay taxes. Wow.
And corporations to make their checks out for his speaking engagements to the Jared Foundation so they could be used for his own pleasure. This is something that plenty of celebrities and now even social media stars take part in, creating their own nonprofit organizations as a means to make more money without having to pay taxes on it. Celebrities like the Kardashians even have their own churches for the same reason.
Jesus, fuck me.
As Jared traveled around the world, opening new subways, talking at schools and Little League games, he began to garner a less than savory reputation to those who spent more time around him.
I told you.
Despite his affable, everyman persona, Jared had begun stepping out on his wife in a massive, not-so-private way. Much like Tiger Woods had, Jared began to carry out large-scale affairs with multiple different women, as well as sleeping with various sex workers he met on the road. It would later come to light that on average, he spent $12,000 per year on escorts.
Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus Christ, man.
All the while...
Oh, his face annoys me too. It always kind of did, but now that we know what he really is about, he has such a punchable face.
Touring the country to speak to kids. His personable character was just that, a character. And the moment the cameras were off, he turned into a completely different person. After spending the day talking about health and fitness.
Yeah, and look at how all the circumstances went down. Look at the rise and fall of this guy, Lego fan. Look up Lost Prophets. I never heard of them before. Why is my voice getting so deep? The marijuana must be kicking in, birds. Try to relax your anus.
Jared would retire to a strip club.
Zeb, you are the person that started the birds, by the way. You do know that, right?
Spending thousands of dollars on various women in the hopes of getting one or more girls to come back to his hotel room. But he wasn't just into one-off casual sex, as he had also begun to have years-long sentimental...
Did you hear of the 19 kids and counting, Dad, that was all Christian conservative value? He got 12.5 years for having BDSM child. Like, all child porn is disgusting. No question. Dude, I don't even want to know what's on the dark web, man. I know everything, unfortunately, is there, but there are some monsters lurking around among us, man.
Relationships with women across the country. One of the many women he would begin to have a relationship with outside of his marriage was radio host Rochelle Herman Walrand. The pair met in 2007 at a middle school health event that he was speaking at.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the video. What the fuck is he doing, dude? He's going to get killed. Like, what is he doing?
And almost at once, the conversation turned sexual, with them meeting up every time he came to Florida. Less than a year after beginning his affair with Rochelle, Jared's first wife filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. The divorce itself wasn't highly publicized, as Jared's immense fame had nothing to do with his own personal life. However, the documents that his ex-wife filed against him showcased a completely different side to the fake philanthropist that should have been a warning sign to those who knew him. His ex not only filed for divorce, she also filed a temporary restraining order against Vogel, citing that he had an obsessive mean streak and was keen on making her miserable. The last years of their marriage...
Yeah, but she's an embittered ex-wife. You can't just go by that because people try to smear people when they're angry at them. Not that I'm defending him. We know how this story ends. He's a horrible, monstrous piece of shit. But there's many a times where people on either side, men and women, try to make the other person look bad because they fucking hate them now, you know?
Marriage, Jared had become a cruel, controlling person who would use his fame to embarrass her in public. On the rare occasions he would take her on dates, he'd spend the duration of the time yelling at her, trying to make her cry, and then go on to say her reaction was the reason he never wanted to be around her. The restraining order had been granted, and the divorce was quickly settled. Though Jared had begun to see Rochelle regularly and would talk...
Even skinny, he has giant boobs. Those go under his armpits without questions. Ian Watkins. I'm going to have to look up all these people.
To her near daily, he decided to pursue a relationship with another woman, Kathleen McLaughlin. He still saw and slept with Rochelle and countless other women when he traveled, two of which have come forward and shown proof of their years-long affairs with him as well. But he felt as if Kathleen...
This footage looks so awkward in slow motion.
...was the better choice for a spouse. Kathleen was a teacher and more than all right with Jared's hectic schedule, thinking that the work he was doing around the country was important. Like Jared's first wife, she bought into the everyman persona he held, and while in her presence, he was always on his best behavior. Jared had known Kathleen since 1999, and they had been friends throughout his first marriage. Given his propensity for cheating, it is likely that they had been sleeping together during this time as well, but neither have admitted to
that is an awkward photo.
Doing so. It was also through these speaking tours put on by his foundation that Jared met Russell Taylor, who he would appoint as the executive director of the foundation. Little did he know that Taylor would be the reason his true nature would be revealed.
All right, guys. We will finish this later after dinner. I will come back on and live stream. Might play some Demon Souls too. I really want to. I'll probably restart it from the beginning. I wanted to just get the controls down last night. And that'll be fun. So I'm going to go relax my anus, relax your anuses.
Try to relax your anus.
And I'll be back in a few hours. Have a good one, birds.